Two Cops, One Donut isn't responsible for anything said by guests or for any videos, clips, or content shown during the live stream. This show is intended for adult audiences only. We cover real incidents, we show graphic and sometimes disturbing footage, and we don't shy away from strong language or adult conversations. There may or may not also be alcohol involved. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Everything you hear or see on the show is for entertainment and educational purposes. It is not legal advice, and it's not tactical instruction, and it shouldn't be used for such. By continuing to watch, you're telling us that you understand, you accept all of this. All right, now let's get into it. All right, welcome back to Two Cops, One Donut. I'm your host, Sergeant Erik Lavigne, and I set up two cameras because my co-host is still dicking around with all his new camera equipment, and he couldn't get logged on in time. He's been messing with it for the last half hour, by the way. Yeah, his name rhymes with Fanning Betland. I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about, but that's who I'm talking about. Alan is also supposed to be here. I talked to both these guys. You're assholes. I don't know why they're not here. They're supposed to be on. They're texting me. Even Deadlegs possibly supposed to be on. And I told them that they're all assholes because they left me hanging. And now I'd set this whole thing up for all this Lego stuff with them to bounce things off of and watching videos and reading up on everything. And here we are. So I just went live on Instagram as well. So if you're watching from Instagram and you get butthurt that we don't talk to you on Instagram, we're just using Instagram and TikTok to get you guys over to our YouTube channel. Come over to the YouTubes. We got great mods, lots of cool things, and your comments can be seen better and easier. So yeah, jump on over there. Did a live last night. It was kind of impromptu. As a matter of fact, I titled it Impromptu Live. So Harrison said, Banning can kick your ass. Be careful. Banning's got to get a hold of me. So, you know, the whole David and Goliath thing. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that I just got to get him tired. If he gets a hold of me, I'm done. I just got to make sure he doesn't get a hold of me. So, oh, look who decided to join us. Fucking Alan. I don't even want to let him on. I shouldn't even show his stupid face.
Sorry, guys. I had to run across the street and help my neighbor off the floor.
Tell them to learn how to walk. How old are they?
82.
Well, then they've had plenty of practice, Alan.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
How you like my camera setup? I got bored.
It looks good.
I know, it's not bad, right?
It really does.
It's my emphasis camera. Do better, assholes.
That's awesome.
Awesome. You know how it is. My wife's out of town. I just had nothing but time.
Oh.
Wife's out of town. I hear an echo.
No, I was playing with Mike. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, I still hear it. Do you hear it?
I don't.
Maybe it's just me. Let me get rid of my other camera. I don't need it now that you're here. But my oldest is here. Or I'm sorry, she stayed back. My wife's in Florida on a conference. My youngest is in Michigan visiting family early because my wife and both kids plan to go up to Michigan to visit family.
Okay.
While FIFA's going on. Because my wife knew that I would be working my ass off. So there's that. So I had a lot of free time around the house. So I was like, I'm going to start messing with shit. So that's what I did today.
I saw, did you go live yesterday?
I did. Yeah.
I saw that. I think you were about done when I finally saw it come on.
Yeah. I texted my wife, or I called her and I was like, how are things going? And just tell me about, because it's in Disney. That's where her conference is at Disney. So she's obsessed with Disney as it is. So she's loving it. She's out there teaching all her little nursing friends like the ins and outs of. My wife is a Disney like connoisseur. She knows where to go, what to go do, how to get through the lines quicker. Like she knows everything. So love it. But she loves it. And so she was telling me about that, and I was like, well, It's like, I got nothing going on tonight, and rather than just sit and watch movies and probably veg out and eat food I don't need to eat, I'm gonna go do a live.
Cool.
She's like, "Go for it." I said, "All right, I am. Bye. Bye." I was like, "Bye, Felicia." I'm digging the hat.
Thank you.
Little
Thank
80s
you.
vibe to it.
Yeah, I got back into golf, and 2 or 3 of my friends they do online selling, and so it's kind of addicting. So
Oh, yeah.
it's like Whatnot, but not Whatnot. So
Brian Ball said, "One of y'all on a diet?" Yeah, Banning is.
I've lost 15 pounds.
Have you?
I have.
Oh man, what diet are you doing?
I've just eaten better, and
Okay.
I'd gotten pretty lazy that first year from cop work, and so trying to be smarter and all those kind of things. Doing a stress test on Wednesday, and then the whole colonoscopy the next week. Got to
Yeah.
doing that. You get to a certain age, and the doctor's like, you go through that checklist of all the things you have to go do.
Devil Pup said, "Good evening, sir. You are just being a caring officer and a good citizen. Very noble of you, sir." Don't give him all that credit. It's gonna go to his head. Sons of bitches. Looking Brian Ball. I don't recognize Brian Ball. Is he
I don't
new?
either. That's a first for me.
Yeah. Welcome. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. You will find our community is pretty damn active, pretty tight knit, and pretty fun. So I hope if you guys are new here tonight, Couch Ninja, I don't recognize that name as well either. I think I have heard Couch Ninja actually.
Harrison Brock just said he's lost 37 pounds in 3 months. That's
Holy
awesome,
shit.
dude. That's
I wonder how. How is everybody losing all this weight? Are you guys on the that Ozempic shot? Make sure cheeks
no.
sink in. You could do the banning. Just
Dude,
not
I
eat.
don't know how I can starve myself for that long. He went like 9 days, man.
Yeah, no, thank you. I think the most I've ever done was like a 48 hour or 72.
Mhm.
That was miserable. It was stupid. I looked back and I was like, I was dumb. I think I did it more just to see if I could do it than actually. I heard it does a lot of cool stuff for you.
Yeah, I mean, I do think your body needs to go through some resets and things like that, but I don't know if there's got to be another way.
See, Shadow Ronin did. That's my diet. Just take a big dump. That is how I lose weight, for sure. Absolutely. Harrison lost his from circumcision. Good for you, Harrison. Good for you, but oh, look who may have joined us. Oh no, it's Deadleg. The only one I didn't expect to join us tonight.
We'll see how much audio you get from this. My mic. Is it working?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Is it working okay? Because it's the mic from this here. Because I bumped this the other day and I ripped that out, so I need a new mic cable.
That's more than a bump, sir.
Yeah. So I came down here and I was like, because I seen you started, and then right after you started, I was like, nobody's there. Well, crap.
Yeah.
So Happy and I were just chilling in the garage, just relaxing, watching the sun go by, and we ran downstairs. And I got downstairs. I'm like, oh crap! I forget my cable. Then there had boxes, and I was like, well, I haven't even shaved. By the time I got down here, Alan showed up. So
I think the only person that would care if you shaved is Mr. Billfold, because he screenshots us and goes to the bathroom later. He told me.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't blame him.
There's a love, man.
There there it is. Right? That'd be a good screenshot right there. Craig said, getting rid of pop is a great start. Weights and cardio are the best next steps. Yeah. Yeah, if you drink that sugary stuff, that really messes you up. My big vice is energy drinks. I just mints.
I don't buy them by bulk.
Damn.
These you can buy them by the pound. So this is the party size bag. We usually get the 2 or 3 pound bags.
High roller said poop dollar. What does that mean? I don't even know what that means, sir. Perry's in the house. What's up, Perry? Let's see. Who's all our regulars tonight? I know we got Devil Pup in here. Perry Lemley. I'm going to go with Nene. Nene 1971 said, "Thank you for your service. My father's a retired New Jersey Lieutenant State Trooper." Nice. He made it. Tell him congratulations.
Those guys have probably seen some stuff.
Right?
Retired Jersey Trooper and an LT.
Yep.
He's probably got stories. Guaranteed he's got stories.
High Roller said, "Calling it soda is your first realization." I call it pop too, but I grew up in Michigan. So Texans all say Coke.
So what I found out is pop's very much a kind of a Great Lakes region thing.
Oh, yeah.
But outside of that, the entire rest of the globe calls it soda.
It's not true.
Or Coke.
Coke.
Refer to it as Coke.
Certain regions of Texas, they only go with Dr. Pepper, which is also strange to me.
Then there's the Texas thing.
Yeah.
But Texas is its own country.
True.
So they can get away with stuff. When you're big enough to be larger than some continents as a state, you can kind of write your own rules.
Right. Yeah. Mr. Billfold said, "It's a TCOD calendar. I have AI generated. The 13th month is Alan's nipple." Hell yeah. What's up, Ario? Steve Wallace in the house. What's going on? Got the crew. Everybody's slowly creeping in. Our guy's in the house. What's up, our guy? Our guy's becoming a steady regular as well. And adds really good stuff to the conversation. Jim Miner's in the house over there from LinkedIn. What's going on, Jim? Mr. Billfold talking shit. He said Pennsylvania also calls it pop. Yeah, I won an argument one time, military, because the great debate happened because military is a melting pot of people from all over. So I said it's called pop, and I'm going to prove my point. And no, not that. I said when the waitress brings our receipt, I want you to tell me what the receipt says. Most of them in my experience say pop, and the reason being is there's less ink. Not because they believe it's called pop, but I've also found them say soda. But pop is only 3 letters versus soda, which is 4. And restaurants are cheap. So anyway, they can save money. They're going to go with the shortest words possible and abbreviated stuff. And the receipt said pop. So I put the receipt, I slammed it down on the table. I said, "Who's paying for my meal?" Because that was the bet.
I always said, open a can, and what does it say?
Yep.
Does it go soda? Or does it go pop? It goes pop.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I think it was called soda pop, right? That was the whole thing. And some people went with the front part. Some people went with the back. I'm kind of an ass man, so I like the back. Alan said his family brought him food, so he's going to be out for a few minutes. He's supposed to be on a diet.
Woman, I have and because of your Great Lakes region, you know what this says? Donatos. I have leftover Donatos. You don't know what Donatos is? You've never had Donatos?
Is that a Chicago style?
So it's from Ohio, but it's thin crust.
Oh, okay.
And they have the really tiny pepperonis, but they put a bunch of seasoning and stuff all over it.
Mm.
It's my hands down. It's my favorite pizza.
Is it cut in squares?
Yeah, they do like the rectangles.
Yeah, we call that Detroit style.
Yep.
Yeah,
you can get it around like Ohio State during the games and all that stuff. It's so good.
Mr. Billfold said, Eric said, "Who's the detective now?" All right, y'all. So tonight, I've got a bunch of notes that I wrote down. I did some research. Now, granted, you guys know I didn't know hardly shit about this yesterday. I actually talked about this case, or they brought this case up yesterday because they wanted me to talk about it, and I was like, I don't know shit about it. I know somebody stole a bunch of Legos, and that's about as much as I knew.
I went. So today's what, Sunday? I went from Friday till today. That's when Friday afternoon, it got like something came across my feed, and I was like, I don't know, I don't want to watch that. And another video from the Reckless Ben showed up, and I was like, all right, let me watch this Reckless Ben because this is like an hour or something. I could put it up because we were playing some Minecraft stuff, so I was like, I can listen to it in the background. But a little bit into it, I was like, I'm not playing my games anymore. I'm listening to this video now. This has got my full attention. And then for the next 12 hours, that's all I did. I did that, slept for a couple hours, woke back up, and was right back to these videos. Because then, by that time, the new parting ways, memo came out. We're parting ways with these people. The body cam, and the redacted body. It's been a crazy 72 hours to leg this.
So I sent kind of like a synopsis of what happened to all the guys, just in case they didn't have time to watch the videos, because there's a ton of them. There's so much information out there. Mr. Billfold sent me a bunch of shit. Other people sent me a bunch of shit. Like I tried to watch as much of it as I could. The point is, I'm not going to get, first off, disclaimer, I'm not going to jump on here like I'm Southern draw law and I can break this down piece by piece and moment by moment, and then I'm a subject matter expert on it now. Like, that's not going to be tonight. Tonight's just going to be, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the template, what we understand, and then we'll deep dive. And this one is going to be a heavily participation from the fucking community tonight. Participation. I said it weird twice. Participation from the community. I heard it. I was like, I got to re-say it.
Interactive.
Interactive. So I'm also going to throw out the challenge. If you want to jump on live and discuss a point tonight on this stuff, reach out to Alan, or you could actually reach out to Deadleg too, since he's on here. They're going to screen you real quick to make sure you're not like a fucking nut job. We know our regulars, but just in case you're like a new person, we don't know who you are. You're going to get screened. So just get ready for that. And we'll let you talk about a point, and then you can jump back off. Then there's nothing saying you can't jump back on, but we definitely want to control the tempo and want to make sure everybody gets a chance to speak and talk about the stuff. So I'm opening the floor tonight, y'all. Basically what will happen is we will send you a link and you'll be brought on, and just make sure that you're somewhere that you can talk and that we can hear you and we can see you and all that stuff. So let me give you the 90. I'm going to read this. I'm going to give you what I call the 90-second open brief. Okay.
TLDR.
Yeah, exactly. So tonight we're going to cover what the internet is calling Lego Gate. I don't know if they're really calling it that. It's just what I'm calling it. The story starts in Oregon, not Utah. Brian Mansell, I don't know how to say it, says his father's valuable Star Wars Lego collection was placed with Bricks and Minifigs franchise in the Salem Kaiser area under a consignment agreement. The collection has been described publicly anywhere from roughly $80,000 to $200,000 in value, but that value has been disputed. Bricks in Minifigs says that the viral $200,000 figure was promotional or exaggerated, while Brian's side says that the family was not properly paid or given back the collection after the store changed hands. According to Bricks and Minifigs' own timeline, the consignment arrangement was made with the prior Salem franchise operator Crystal Law Gorman in late 2023. Corporate says the agreement was unauthorized, not disclosed to them, and not part of the Bricks and Minifigs franchise model. Brian's side disputes the broader corporate framing and says the family's collection was still not properly accounted for after the transition. By late 2024, the Salem store changed hands. Brian tried to get answers, went to the store, brought paperwork, and eventually sent notice terminating the consignment agreement. Police in Oregon reportedly treated the early dispute as a private civil matter. No resolution was reached between Brian, the prior owner, the new operators, and corporate. Then Reckless Ben, whose real name is Ben Schneider, got involved. His video framed the dispute as a theft of an old man's Lego collection. He used public pressure tactics, confronting employees, putting banners over Bricks and Minifigs signage, creating a satirical "We Steal from Old People" brand, filing small claims cases, raising money for Brian, and eventually traveling to America Fork, Utah, where one of the involved Bricks and Minifig owners, Joshua Johnson, lived. Such a weird name of a city, by the way. American Fork is the name of the city, and it's in Utah.
If you've never heard of it before, it's a huge Mormon community.
Mormon community. Yeah, I'm learning all about it. There's a little bit of religion mixed in with this. I know we said we don't do religion on here, but we're not actually going to do the religion side as much as we're just going to focus on the law enforcement side that just happens to be a Mormon city, guys. So there's that. If you're Mormon, cool. Every Mormon I've ever met's been super awesome. So that is where American Fork Police enter the story. Between March 8th and March 11th, 2026, Johnson called police multiple times, reporting what he described as an escalating harassment at or near his home. Police contacts included a suspicious package containing rubber ducks, a traffic stop that Ben disputes, trespass warnings, a later contact involving someone allegedly pretending to be sent by a church leader, another vehicle stop, and a dog sniff where no drugs were found, and then a sign placed near Johnson's home accusing him of stealing a dying man's life savings. I don't know if this little outline that I have is going to get to that, but just so you guys know, the old man who owns the Legos is also dying from cancer, and the money from the Legos is supposed to go towards his cancer treatments. Police eventually arrested Schneider, obtained a warrant connected to a nearby Airbnb, and searched for Schneider and allegedly stolen Lego merchandise. According to reporting, 5 people were taken into custody at the Airbnb. 4 were later released. No stolen Lego was found and nothing was seized. Schneider disputes major parts of the police version, including the stop, the meaning of the rubber duck incident, and whether his conduct was stalking or lawful process serving an investigation. After the videos went viral, American Fork Police Chief Cameron Paul released a statement saying his department was not there to decide the Oregon Lego dispute. His position was that even if someone believes they were financially wrong, that does not exempt them from Utah laws on harassment, trespassing, stalking, or targeted residential picketing. Schneider, meanwhile, has argued that the body cam and dash cam footage undercut parts of the police narrative. Since then, Bricks and Minifigs has sued Schneider, Brian Manzel, and others, accusing them of defamation, disparagement, conspiracy, stalking, trespass, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. A Utah judge issued temporary orders requiring related videos to be taken down, limiting the contact with Bricks and Minifigs employees, though KSL reported Schneider had not yet had the opportunity to present his side before the court considered whether to extend those orders. Then on June 4th, 2026, Bricks and Minifig announced it was closing the Salem, Oregon location and parting ways with franchise owner Brandon Best and Joshua Johnson. The company also said it was willing to meet with Brian, review records, return remaining Star Wars Lego items, and compensate him for anything unaccounted for. So tonight, our job is not to decide who owns every Lego set. We are separating 3 questions. Was the original dispute civil, criminal, or both? Did Reckless Ben's tactics cross legal lines? And did American Fork Police remain neutral, transparent, and properly supervised when this private dispute landed in their city? And that is what we got tonight, folks. So, Craig jumped right out to the front and he said, the first question that needs to be answered is, where is the Lego collection?
My understanding is the majority of the physical inventory that store had on hand, to the tune of 70 or 80% of the inventory on hand, was allegedly this collection. So there's that. Also involved in there, Bricks and Minifigs has said in their statement that during their audit that they found that supposedly some sets had been sold, and then they had not recompensated the original owner for those as well. So they found some of that in there as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the Reckless Ben videos, if you haven't watched those yet, start there, because if you're going to troll, my God, that's a good way of trolling.
All right. I'll go down, I'll go down the first part of this for me. Is it civil, criminal, or both? So I think originally it was definitely civil.
Mm-hmm.
Seems civil to me. You had some sort of agreement. So it wasn't like you just went over and took these Legos from these people and they didn't know. You handed them over.
There's documentation.
Yeah, it's just like loaning somebody your car. At some point, it turns into a stolen vehicle, but not at first.
Yeah, it would be no different than these car lots that do a consignment for a Mercedes Benz.
Right.
You're going to have a contracted agreement, regardless of what that contracted agreement says.
Mm-hmm.
If that dealership changes hands, that contract is still part of the original. You bought that contract as well, regardless if it's their original agreement or not. You bought the original company's, unless there's something written in their paperwork that says, we're not honoring anything from the prior business, but that generally does not happen.
Yeah. I'm very confused how the police would ever get involved until at least some sort of summary judgment, whatever they call it in a civil suit. Because
default judgment, or they'll issue a ruling,
right,
a decision.
Right. And so Mr. Billfold's over there just whining. Skip to number 3. I don't want to talk about the other stuff. Skip to number 3. NorCal Mac also said skip to number 3. We got to get through all of this stuff first. We got to go in order. But I Am Boss wants to get on. I know Mr. Billfold's going to want to get on. And the whole reason I made a rule about have a point that you want to talk about and then you got to bounce off and then you can come back is because if we let Mr. Billfold get on here, it's over.
Yep.
We're never going to get to talk again. So he's like, yeah, that's true. But no, let's get I Am Boss on here. We haven't had I Am Boss. So Alan, can you get him hooked up, sir?
Yes, I'm working on that right now.
All right, cool. We're going to get I Am
Everybody
Boss.
Send me a message on the Discord and I will send you the link and then we can talk back and forth. So if you are not a member of the Discord, please become a member and then you will find my name and you can send me a chat and I will get you the link.
I like it. Alan laying down the law on y'all too. I like it. So let's see here. Looking through my notes, just so you guys know, Ed Manziel, Brian Manziel's father, he built that Lego collection over a fuck ton of years. Like I think it's the largest collection that existed or something to that effect.
Supposedly is one of the largest private collections allegedly at the time.
Yeah.
Hey, mods, can you guys put the link for the Discord on? I'm not finding it real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is where kind of everything gets interjected into the public sphere is where Reckless Ben gets involved. And by the time Reckless Ben is getting involved, the original owners of the store have already tried to extend, like they've already gone down all the avenues that they can think of going down. They've tried to reach out to the store directly. The store directly said go to corporate. Corporate said go to the store. And then they finally stopped getting the runaround. The corporate basically said, if you want to sue us over it, that's fine. We'll take you to court. We got more money than you do, and this will take longer than we'll just keep this in court.
Yeah.
So that's where they're when they reached out to their Reckless Ben, that's where they're kind of like, okay, there are no other really, because we don't want to go to this. We don't want to be labeled as stalkers. We don't want to keep showing up to the store and get all the other avenues that we got, we're going to have to put maybe a public pressure on and hey, we'll give our side of everything and then let corporate kind of make their decision. And everything that's been put out there is that there was a contract and they've put the contract out there. And then the new owners of the store knew that this was part of the store's inventory, part of the whole new owners. And then even then the the previous owners getting pushed out and new owners coming in, I don't understand that to begin with. Because if you are the owners of the store, I don't, even as a private financier or franchise, I don't understand how corporate can come in and just take over your store unless you're doing things you're not supposed to. Like, I don't understand that. But even then, corporate is corporate. They should understand, and they should have a legal department to understand that we're assuming this inventory, we're assuming everything as is. So if the point of sale computers up front, the iPads are like, it's 7 generations old. Well, that's what you got. You assumed all of that. And part of that was this inventory, and that was on security camera footage of them saying, the new owner saying, like, hey, we're aware of this. This is something that's going on. We know that this inventory exists and we're aware of it. Yes, we will deal with that.
Yeah. I've got some videos to share. So we're not going to watch this whole thing. I'm just going to play like the first 5 minutes. But it gives kind of I can't remember which one. Yeah, I can't remember which one made this video. Let me check real quick so I give him credit. Reckless Ben. This is directly from Reckless Ben. So yeah, let's
This man spent his life collecting what's now known as the world's largest Lego Star Wars collection ever. It's estimated to be worth around $200,000. And then the entire thing got stolen, and the police are actively working with the thieves to cover the entire thing up. But the craziest part is that the collector doesn't even know that his collection's been stolen. Yeah, the collector's son, Brian, well, he reached out to me because he has no clue how to break this news to his dad.
At this point, my father had a health episode. We can't bring any stress to him.
The reason he's reaching out to me is because the police are covering this entire thing up. And at this moment, I promised Brian that I would not end this video until I get his entire world record Star Wars collection back. But anyways, the thief of this collection is actually a corporation called Bricks and Minifigs.
Bricks and Minifigs, the biggest toy store of its kind.
Is the largest toy store.
Bricks and Minifigs were not just your average Lego store.
For collectors, Bricks and Minifigs is basically seen as the best and safest way to sell your Lego collections.
I'm selling my Legos. So what I'm planning to do with them is take them to my local Bricks and Minifigs.
Because there's so much positive media about them everywhere, Brian thought that this would be the perfect store to finally sell his dad's Lego Star Wars collection.
So I wrote up a contract.
In the contract, it says that these are still the family's Lego sets, but every time one gets sold, the store gets to keep a small percentage of each sale.
This was a store's worth of inventory. So that store that day was nothing but my dad's collection. Like, all the shelves filled. They had to bring in extra shelves and filled the whole party room with shelves.
But the owner of the franchise, this woman, well, her husband had to actually leave the country due to some work-related reasons.
My husband and I were planning on moving out of the country. I reached out to corporate to let them know, hey, this is something that's coming up in the next 4 to 5 months.
She told the Bricks and Minifigs head corporation that she was planning on selling the store, so the corporation actually was able to find a buyer to buy it from her.
They let me know that they had somebody who was interested in purchasing a franchise in the area. He was going to be in town and he was going to stop by and just take a look at it. It wasn't until Brandon got there that he informed me that they were terminating my franchise agreement. We were getting threats from Brandon and from corporate that if we didn't leave the store immediately, the police were going to be called. I told corporate I wasn't comfortable leaving that night without the inventory. I was also told I was not going to be able to stay there long enough to do that inventory.
But we don't just have to take this woman's word for it. She was actually able to save all the security camera footage from that night, proving that everything she just said is true.
All the footage and evidence is there. In the security cam footage, it's him at the store kicking her out. In that footage they sent us is Crystal asking him, how am I supposed to pay this guy? These are sets he has not been paid for.
These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
That's a business thing and not necessarily yours. He's taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment liability.
His own corporation is sitting there on video saying they're going to take it.
After this woman got kicked out of her own store, she called Brian explaining how corporate just came down and is now trying to take the world's largest Lego Star Wars collection without paying for it. So Brian called the store to see what was going on.
Called the store and I said, what happened to Crystal? And he goes, well, that's kind of a private matter, but the corporation's taken over the store. There's something I can do to help you with. I said, well, yeah. I am the owner of about half your store's inventory. All those vintage Star Wars sets you have in there are ours. And he goes, well, I don't know anything about that. I said, well, you better get to learn about it because I have a contract, I have photo evidence, video evidence, like that is our collection. So I went down to the store, brought a copy of the contract. We're like, you need to let me in back and let me see the sets that you still have. All you have to do is let me in back. We can go that route or we can go to court. And the guy just looks at me, crosses his arms and goes, let me tell you what's gonna happen. If we go to court, we're gonna drag this thing out so long and you're gonna end up spending so much more money than your collection is ever worth or what you ever would have gotten out of it, that it ain't worth it, man. So if that's the route you wanna go, and I go, that's really the route you wanna go, rather than just letting me walk in there, and he goes, nope.
Wow.
Dang.
What am I to do?
All right.
I love the editing with the minifigures too.
It's crazy.
The whole video is awesome.
It is.
Editing, it's put together very well.
I love that the YouTube blobbed out everything. I was reading through the comments. Somebody said that it used to look a lot better. But
yeah, they've added those two. There was one they added, and they've added a second one now. It goes through the entire length of the video.
yeah. Did we were we able to get that link to I Am Boss yet? Alan ignoring me.
Yes, sorry. He wants to talk about the redactions part. So when we get to that point.
Okay. And I think I've got the search warrant. We can bring that part up, I guess, when he gets arrested. Let me see here. I'm going to share the screen. Whoops, not that one. Boom. Okay. And we will, let me look at the comments real quick.
So this is in the sequence of things. Was this after there's a traffic stop, and then there's this, and then there's another traffic stop, correct?
Correct. I don't have the actual, I don't think I have the traffic stop. So I know they pull him. That's part of the redacted stuff, right?
Yep.
Okay. So the backstory real quick before I start sharing this one. For those that don't know, the backstory is the cops pull over Reckless Ben and say that he ran a stop sign. And they did a Freedom of Information Act and got the body cam footage and found out that the stop was actually pretextual. They were looking for him. It had nothing to do with a stop sign, allegedly.
And it came to a complete stop.
Yeah, it came to a
They
complete.
have the dash cam too.
Yeah. And they, it's one of those things. They don't exactly use the language that, they would just pull them over to pull them over. But any reasonable person, if you listen to what they say, that's exactly what they did. They were looking for this dude, and they were looking for him because of the request of the, what's that dude's name? The guy that lives in Utah that's got a problem.
The owner guy.
Yeah.
It's not Brian.
No.
Is it? No, it's
Is it? I can't remember.
Because there's so many.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of moving,
there's
a lot of moving parts on this one.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's the douchebag. I'm going to call him the douchebag in Utah. Yep. That is kind of trying to manipulate the police.
The CEO.
And it's arguable that he does. And that's where some of the Mormon stuff come into play, because you can hear in some of the redacted footage, he plays the religion card, like that he's got to go do his whatever, his duties to the Lord, or however he said it. Obviously I'm not saying it verbatim, but he says that on the phone with the police, and he's trying to find ways to trump up charges on this kid. That's more than a misdemeanor. He's trying to get felonies on this guy. And that's where it gets kind of weird, because you can hear the cops are like, well, we can't. We don't have that. But at the same time, did somebody join? I heard just Alan. Alan's trying to hide. You trying to hide, Alan? I pulled you up. You're not. We can't hear you.
No, I was just getting the link and everything, and so
okay.
I shared him the link, and so I told him we'd put him in the background once we were ready to go. So.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, they got a lot of this redacted footage, and I don't know. I don't know if the cops were unaware that some of this stuff existed, or if they thought that it wouldn't get shared, or they tried to get rid of it. But yeah, it got out there. Joshua Johnson, that's his name. Thank you, Ariel. Everybody, Joshua.
I don't think that they thought that this YouTube guy had the reach that he had, because I've not gone through and looked at the specifics of like his subscriber, how much has jumped. But
well, he's at 1.25 mil right now.
I first became aware of him. He was like at 750,000. So
gotcha.
He jumped 500,000 subscribers in a matter of 72 hours. So I don't think that the police or the chief or the people, I don't think that they really realized that this would get out of Utah or be like, this will be a couple of people we'll see on YouTube and it's going to be done. This is going to be like we have way more reach than they have reach. And the pissing contest got way out of hand way quick.
Yeah. All right. I see Ray's on. Let's get Ray up here. What up, Ray?
What's happening?
This is I Am Boss, y'all.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. You're coming through loud and clear.
Okay.
Fingers
crossed.
You got some good lighting for somebody that wasn't, knew they were going to do this.
Hotel room. He's in a hotel room.
Is that a hotel room?
Yeah, it's a hotel room.
Hell yeah, brother. I love it.
Better than my setup right now.
Yeah, no, you look like a slob, dead leg.
Yep.
First and foremost, sir, welcome. Glad to have you on. I love that you've been participating a whole lot more recently. So really appreciate that. And let us have it. What we just started roughly talking about the redaction stuff. I am no expert. I have only been following this since yesterday. So I'm playing catch up. So you go to town, brother.
Yeah, I'm like you guys. I was late to the arrival on this. I heard about it from Lackluster. He addressed it, and I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, I did the wrong one.
Oh,
my bad. I messed up.
So I went searching for the story, and then once I did that, the story just everywhere I looked, it was everywhere. But I would watch the body cameras, and at first, it came up with the redacted stuff. You fast forward because nothing's happening, you don't see anything. But then the real ones came out, the ones that were apparently hacked and brought in, and you see the stuff that they redacted.
Oh, is that the claim that it was hacked?
They said it was hacked.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I just thought that they didn't realize they released it, whatever it was they released.
According to Reckless Ben, someone hacked it and gave him the videos. Now, it takes me back to the phone call that he had. He called the police department or whoever did the redactions and said, hey, I pieced these two together before the hacked videos. He says, I pieced these two together, and what you redacted should not have been redacted. And then we got the unredacted videos, and it proves the point whatsoever. It was unlawful. I went through and I looked through the laws, what they were allowed to be redacted. She says there was no way this is going to be redacted.
Yeah.
She did it per the law. It's all BS. Which tells me this is obviously not the first time that they do this. Not that department, any department. I just don't have the trust.
Yeah. So if they're getting caught redacting something that doesn't follow policy and procedures for their redaction qualifications. I'm sure normal redaction stuff, you tell me, Dead Leg, it's usually social security numbers, any private information. That's really it.
Social security numbers, like your physical addresses, date of birth,
kids,
usually anything involving minors.
Minors, yeah.
Some states they'll redact or like your license plate, even though it's something that you can see. Like it's like you get in weird areas, but for the most part, it's usually kids and personal identification stuff.
Yeah,
and then other than that,
tactics.
That's
it.
They'll leave that stuff out.
Yeah, and that you're not really divulging any tactics as a street cop. Nothing that other people don't know. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. If that is the case that they got caught, that makes sense. Now that you got my wheels turning because I'm remembering pieces of stuff I researched, and yes, you're right. There was a redaction that they were saying stuff that shouldn't have been redacted. And then when you listen to it on the oh, you're right. Yes, when you listen to the redacted stuff, I'm like, that shouldn't have been redacted. That's normal conversations. You're right. You're right. Yes. Oh shit. I'm catching up.
And it's not just conversation. It's conversation about we literally have nothing here. How does something get created out of nothing? That's the whole conversation.
Yeah.
So the whole pretextual stop becomes a problem because the police chief is in a video saying like, hey, we stopped him because he ran a stop sign.
Yeah.
Well, your body cam footage, not anything that you redacted, just a dash cam footage of the patrol car that stopped him disputes the reason for stop. So fruit of the poisonous tree, everything after that, you're done.
Yeah.
You can't do it. It's done. You had no justification for the stop unless you had some other reasons.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get crazy. I bring everybody on that wants to get on. Bill Fold, if you're in there, get your ass on here too. Ray, what do you got, buddy?
Well, I mean, this is one of the reasons why you shouldn't be hitting the mute button. I mean, unless there is something very specific, not because two guys want to have, talk about hacky
No.
sack.
Let me do you one better. You shouldn't be hitting the mute button ever. Ever. It should be all recorded, and then you have a redaction team that is not a cop. And they do your redaction stuff. You can have because we have crime analysts. We have all these people that work under the purview of a police department, but they're not sworn. So they kind of have a third party, objective view. They should follow things a lot more stringent, and they're not overlooked by police. So even though they work under the umbrella of the police department, so that is how that should go. I used to think that there are opportunities when like me, I used to think if I'm going in, I'm talking to a rape victim or stuff like that, I should mute my body cam. But the more that I've done this show in the last 5 years and had conversations and realized like, no, that is kind of stupid. I mean, I understand why I thought that way, but until somebody put it to me like, why don't you have a redaction team? That's their job. They should be doing that after the fact. That way, just in case that some sort of evidentiary value comes from what was said, you have it and there's record of it. It's not accessible, but there's record of it. And then if it needs to be redacted, it can be redacted after the fact. So I'm not a fan. You should not be allowed to mute your body camera.
The agency that I worked for was federal, and there was a whole thing way back then. This is almost 2 decades ago at this point, of having cameras. And we had cameras, but not cameras on our persons or cameras in our car. And one of the questions that they always put out was, we'll have to redact this information. And they're going to go, we're going to get these auditors. They're going to just want this information left and right. I go, okay, we're able to charge, like for X amount of hours that you have to go through to have the redaction, you're able to charge the person. Like that's why when you do a FOIA request, some agencies will have some agencies don't charge anything and they'll just put it in a folder and they'll say, here's the media link and you go ahead and click on it and everybody has access to all the same stuff. Other times, like with smaller incidents, you have to do a FOIA request And some agencies you'll have to pay because they have to have a PIO, they have to have their legal team go through all of the public information that you're requesting to have the things that are legally redacted so you don't have access to it. So when like we're requesting for body cams or for just regular stuff, for all the stuff that we do, we'd have to do FOIA requests and things like that. And then sometimes I'd have to pay for them. But all of this stuff, my whole thought is all a camera is going to do is catch a cop doing cop work. So if you're going through this whole FOIA request, like a First Amendment auditor, or your legal, like your legal department thinks we're going to catch them in the camera, you're going to catch a cop doing work. So you're going to have to pay the department to go through it. Then your whoever your legal team is, they have to physically go through it. So someone's going to be paid to go through that again. Then you have to analyze it and talk about it. So all of that's it's going to cost a lot of money to find out that cops just did cop work. And you do that enough times with these specific, like you're going to have you get pulled 4 or 5 different times. And like every time we pull Erik's stuff, they think they finally going to get you. And we've never caught him doing anything other than good cop work. And then if we do just a random spot check and pull his body camera footage to see if he's following policy procedure, he's still following policy procedure. So then the defense attorney is like down the road, you get credibility, you get merit within the agency. So over time, my theory is over time, over 5, 10, 15 years, it's not something that's going to snap your fingers and it's going to happen. But over time, all the camera footage is going to catch is cops doing cop work.
Yeah.
And then all the times that you're catching cops not doing cop work, those cops don't become cops anymore. That's what this whole show is about, is to get that credibility back to law enforcement, to get that trust back with the community. Because I will tell you, Erik will tell you, Alan will tell you, you know who hates bad cops worse than anybody else? A good cop.
I mean, I'm not going to say I'm a good cop, but go ahead, Ray.
You know, I hear that all the time. I hear that all the time. And, you know, and it's good. It's good to call out bad cops, you know. But who stops the bad cops in the moment? Because always afterwards, I mean, it happens all the time. Oh, these are bad cops. We want to get rid of bad cops. But there's no one stopping them in the moment.
Right.
You don't see it.
And I'll push back a little bit on you, Ray. And this is where I'll push back, is that it is a slower process when it's a uniformed cop. There's a different process, and a lot of people don't like to hear that. They want the same. If your expectation is that a cop is right here with a citizen, a civilian, and that they're held on the same level at all the time, it's not. That's just not true. And if you're of the opinion that it should be, well, that's a totally different argument. But it's not. There's different processes. If I catch Alan doing some dumb shit on duty, there's a different process. Because if I try to hook him up right in the moment and then find out later Alan saw something and his body cam caught something that I didn't see, but I thought he fucked up, I screwed everything up. Now I'm in trouble.
Yep.
I'm in big trouble. So the process has to be a little slower. The outcome can be the same. I think all of us can agree we've seen cops get hammered, but we've also seen cops get away with a lot of shit.
Yep.
And that's where the rub comes, is because we see these cops like the sergeant that choke slammed the female that tried to stop him in the moment. Was like, Sarge,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that one, but the sergeant went way overboard. And
yeah, Craig just mentioned it there in the chat. So.
Yeah, and assaulted. Oh yeah, there you go, Craig. And assaulted the bad guy who was cuffed and in the back of a car, and then assaults his own officer who tried to get in the middle of it.
Right.
Now, a lot of people would be like, he should have been put in cuffs right away. No, hold off. Don't rush the process with a cop, because if you do fuck it up, you just let a cop get back on duty. And that's where I try to tell people, have a little patience. Let us take the long route, get the same results, and get this motherfucker the right way. But I understand the frustration, because you see, if Joe Blow said, Ray, if I saw you choke a woman up against the car and she was just assaulting someone else, but I didn't see that, I just see you, you're getting put in cuffs and you're going to jail, and you're going to have to go through the fucking process, and it's bullshit.
And the reason why is a regular citizen doesn't have the legal authority to detain and stop someone. They don't have the legal authority to restrict someone's movement. They have no authority to do that. The only people that really have that are law enforcement.
Right.
And because they have that authority, I wouldn't say that they are held to a higher standard, but the burden of proof is even higher because you have to for sure, no shit, no balls. There's zero question in anybody's mind that when you show this in front of people, because a jury of a citizen's peers is a jury of their peers, but a jury of our peers is literally everyone in the law enforcement community. Law enforcement community. Well, you've got all of your other beat cops, but you've got your supervisors, you've got your prosecutors, you got your defense attorneys, you got all the people that work around in law all the time. Like, I'm not a defense attorney, I'm not a prosecutor, but I know enough to talk about some of that stuff, and I know how to get away with something but be dead right guilty at the same time. Like, because of my knowledge of law and how it works and how the burden of proof is and how the law enforcement system works and how charging system works. Because of what we know, there is a difference to that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with
there's defense to prosecution. That's another thing. Defense to prosecution is a big thing.
Well, and there's one piece that we also have to, like, even if the officer's in the wrong, he has rights as well as far as employment standards and things like that. And so you got to be careful not to cross those boundaries too, because there's certain things that, every state has different employment rules and that kind of stuff. And so that's the only part that I'll add to that when, but for the most part, once an officer is investigated, he's suspended, all those kind of things. But I digress, and I will add the other big bearded wonder onto the show.
The Macho Man's coming in. Oh yeah. Where's he at? Where is he at? Uh-oh. It's just blackness.
He's got one. I got one frame for him.
He's probably playing with his cat. Mr. Billfold. Oh, this dude. I'm on a conversation with Mr. Billfold. There's no such thing as a short conversation with him, Ray. It's usually every bit of an hour. Every time you talk to him on the phone, and he dominates that whole hour. But he's a cat dude, like not just a couple cats. Like, he's a big time cat dude, which is hilarious. And he spends, I'd say, a good quarter of the time yelling at his cats like they're real people.
I talk to Happy like he's a real person.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I also talked to him. We lost him completely. What happened? Alan said his camera froze. Okay, we'll get him back. But no, Ray, I understand the frustration, and I get it. But I think when the expectation is that we're both like this all the time, that's not true. Because there's times that civilians are way up here and we're not. Like, if somebody,
when no law is broken.
Correct. Well, no, I mean, if let's say somebody assaults you, I can't just haul off and beat ass, right? I have a use of force that I have to follow according to what you're doing. Versus you get to whip wholesale ass, which is, it's awesome. You know what I mean? So you get kind of a preview on that versus what I get. And then, Jesus, I swear that beard got 3 times longer since the last time I saw you, Macho Man.
Oh, Jesus. Hello, folks.
You went and changed your shirt just for this, didn't you?
Alan brought this shirt up, so I had to make sure, even though I'm up here working, I brought it with me to work in case I had to bust it out.
So that's a yes.
Alan?
So that's a yes.
Yes, that is a big yes. That's a big yes.
I love it.
How's it going, Eric?
How you doing, Mr. B? Love having you on, brother.
Oh, man, winning. I woke up winning.
I was hoping you was going to show us one of your cats.
I'm up at my shop right now, man. Money never sleeps. Get a little head start on that money tomorrow. but
bro, it's
I'm
like
taking
9.
the
What is it?
time
9,
out
10
from
o'clock?
refurbishing tractor trailers.
It's 2100 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm not getting.
It's late.
This stuff is side work, so you don't get paid by the hour. You get paid by the job. So I knock it out in 6 hours on my. It goes right to my back pocket.
I like it. Hell yeah! All right, brother. The floor is yours. Let us know. School us. I'm waiting for the.
No, I
words to
think
catch up there.
anybody could rightfully be excused for not being able to keep up with this. I apologize for that. We have a weird Wi-Fi up here. I'm across the river in Alabama, so you get what you get. But I understand people not being able to keep up with this. But I think, like for you to jump on, is the fact that the woman who did the redactions is on a call with Ben saying, I did these redactions according to Utah code. And then they release all that information and shows that she's absolutely lying 100%. None of the redactions she made had anything to do with following the Utah code on how redactions are made. So I think it's one of those prime examples that we all got to watch if we were paying attention for the past week. I remember when he had a little bit of audio to sync up, and that's nothing compared to what they've done with all the unredacted stuff. Civil rights lawyer did a video today saying that he and his people copied all of it. So it's all being mirrored across the internet right now. But that just goes to say what I think a lot of us in the chat have said before. You know, we just can't trust the accountability and transparency is there when the people that don't want transparency are also so incompetent that they post a link online to all the unredacted stuff that shows their malfeasance, and then make a Facebook post saying, we accidentally posted it, but we took it down, and then they delete that post as well. I think it's kind of telling about, you know, that whole department being pretty corrupt. I think this should be one of those cases that any cop out there who are watching this show, y'all should start talking to Mona Box or whatever the hell y'all do. Like, this is an entire department that any reasonable person can look at and see is really engaged in wrongdoing. Whether it's manufacturers, the force that they use in dealing with some skinny YouTubers. I mean, the whole thing stinks. And I think you don't have to rush to or be unfair to look for what's out there and look at what the police themselves, you know, there's a difference if it had to be protected stuff, but they did. So it's out there for all of us to see. And this is 100% proven now that this Utah department lied and redacted stuff only to cover up wrongdoing. So can't really be argued.
Yeah, and I'll lean into your point. I'm with you on this, that even though I can't just outright say that department did something corrupt, I can say all of it stinks, and I like to trust my gut on things. But the one thing that really stinks is when they're on the phone with the person claiming to be a victim, the rich dude, or business. I don't know if he's rich, but the business owner guy, and he's trying to coach them on how to get charges on this man. And they're just, there's no professional cutoff. Sir, I can't, this is not I can't tell you this information. They're not just not saying there's information they can't divulge. They're telling them everything they had a conversation about, which is fucking crazy to me. You're completely messing up the integrity of a case if there is a case.
Can't believe how many times I've seen police say, don't tell me how to do my job. Yet this guy on the phone, he just laughs it up.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's crazy is the Reckless Ben guy. Like, legitimately, go watch that long video, because he goes, if you want to troll legally, he goes and he creates his own lottery in the state of Oregon. They have a raffle. They give something away that was Brian Manzel's. They try to go to collect it. He won't get it collected. And he has the actual lottery like the crime, what has been committed, the elements of crime, the whole 9 yards, the statute, everything. The police are called because they want to have him trespassed. And he's like, no, look, this is the actual law that's been broke. I'm on private property. This isn't their property. I'm not trespassing. We held a legal lottery. He's like, no, that's fake. He goes, no, it's a lottery legally registered with the state of Oregon. We can show you. He's like, I don't want to see paperwork. He's like, well, this is the law that was like, he's literally doing the exact same thing, but following the law, like A, B, C, D. How do you get from here to there? He's connected all the dots, handed it to them, like open and shut case, Johnson. And they're like, we don't want anything to do with this. You're the problem here.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to give them a leg.
I think that this is absolutely. Oh, sorry, Deadleg.
Nope, you're good. I was just saying it's hard to give them a leg to stand on when every opportunity.
I'm sorry, Deadleg.
Do the right thing. They haven't. They can't just follow the law. All right, I'm good.
After you, Mr. B.
Oh no, I just think that I think I was bothering you this on your golf thing last weekend. Like, hey man, have you heard about this Lego shit and what's going down? And at that point, none of the unredacted footage had come into play. So if you and I were to have had a discussion about it at that time, it would be a different discussion than the one we're having right now. And I think that this is about the most gift wrapped and open and shut case of just pure, let's call it what it is, police misconduct, police wrongdoing. I mean, it's not even, there's nothing to argue. You can't really argue it because before, last week I watched the video and Ben's talking to the woman and he said, ma'am, you kind of forgot to microphones. And one of the able to splice it together here that the part that you redacted had only was them talking about how to work up charges on me. It didn't really have anything to do with the victim. No, sir, we don't do that. No, I don't do that, Ben. I don't do that. No. Yeah, that's what we were getting.
Yeah.
And then they released the unredacted footage, and there it is right there. You're a damned liar. And I mean, really, there's no way around it. If it was something that was hacked and ill-gotten data, then one could make an argument and say, well, this could be altered. This could be AI. But when it comes from an official release by the police department, well, tough on you. Shock and horror. American Fork doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Wow, I'm shocked. I'm so surprised they could make a blunder like that, being at the tip of the spear of American policing that I'm sure American Fork, Utah police are. But well, this is one that I think everybody should be able to see. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, I was going to say, and to your point, with that female that said that she didn't do, like, it's either one of two things. Either gross incompetence, which is that what you're going to own up to, or you fucking lied. One of the two. Which one is it?
Oh, it's not one of two things. It's not one of two things. It can't be one of two things because the second thing would be the gross incompetence. Gross incompetence when she was presented with it by him before the people for who helped collaborate in her malfeasance and obstruction of all accountancy. She was presented by Ben with, hey, look, you actually sent me a little audio I was able to sync up. Well, no, you can't believe that. No, that's really not it. So she had oh, maybe I could have made a mistake and went and checked it, but she didn't. She knew right off the bat what she had done. If you look at all the other redactions that they made that they've gone back, like civil rights lawyers about go ankle deep in that ass with flutter kicks as he goes through this data. But you're going to see that there was absolutely no gross incompetence. This was a highly competent and capable group of police officers and departments who know exactly how to lie and hide everything that they do behind a blue line and say, hey, we're heroes. Look at the kittens we get out of trees. Don't watch what you're going to believe, your lying eyes or us. You know, that's what we're getting out of American Fork.
She has
There's no two options,
right? I mean, she has to be competent because they had to pay for the redactions. So if you're going to charge for something, you have to be competent, right? I mean, that's the logic we're going to follow, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's
And
here's
I
two
think it
points
also
before
goes
we
to
get
the
too
legal
far.
definition of it. Go ahead, Allison.
his delay is fucking him up.
I'll make 2 quick points. The first one I'll make is the Menzel family. The one reason that they didn't try to go to try to take them to court is they didn't feel that they had the financial means and or the timeline because their father's fighting cancer. So legal people within the legal world that have been aware of this now have already reached out to them to take care of that. So I don't believe that's going to be an issue. And then secondly to this, the Ben issue, the same thing. The amount of legal minds that have had him on their podcast and other things that say, hey, this is a slam dunk case. And now there's all of these eyes of the world on it. We definitely will pro bono our firm's name out there for this. So I believe the Menzel family will be made whole. And then at the end of this, I do believe the compensation that Ben gets from it, it'll probably be one of those. It's not, under NDA and he's been, made compensation, but I don't think that should be a thing. I think that if he has the Grade 4 Police Department or American Ford Police Department has to pay out a big lawsuit because they deprived someone of their rights, they stopped them illegally, the warrant, how do they have the means to get the warrant? The redactions that they didn't go against the FOIA request, against their laws, against the FOIA laws, like all of the different things there that the police department has, I believe that they'll be compensated for that, Ben and his team, but that should be made public.
No, they'll assert qualified
the police
immunity.
department not only should be, I don't know that you have it. You can't claim qualified immunity if on unredacted footage you are colluding with each other on how to create charges.
Hold on. Bill Fold?
You can claim times. It doesn't mean you'll get it the first time, but you can 15 times.
Oh, he lost service. Perfect timing. If you would have got that motherfucker going down qualified immunity, we would have never been off the. This show would have been 24 hours. I didn't kick him
they'll
off.
be made whole. It was not CIA, NSA. Those are the ones that actively listen.
That's so funny.
That's the NSA.
That was the gods booting him off. What do you got, Ray?
I would say on qualified immunity, all right. So I've been on both, not really on both sides, but I was like, abolish it. Mm-hmm. I understand the reasoning behind it because in true split-second life and death decisions, you're going to go with your best gut. And so I understand and I get it. But most of the cases that are held and taken to court for qualified immunity are not split-second decisions. These are decisions that are made, as competently as they want to be, but are obviously not competent at all. And so, all of a sudden the courts, the ones that we hold a higher standard to are now incompetent and didn't know we shouldn't steal $200,000 in cash. We didn't know that he had a free speech right to say whatever. We didn't know he had, free press. We just didn't know because, the last case that we had, the difference was the guy's name was Jay, but the other case was Ray. So,
Yeah.
It didn't happen exactly the same, but we didn't have the knowledge. We didn't know that a cop can't do this.
Yeah,
I like this guy.
Yeah. So Bill Fold.
Yeah.
Relax. We're not going down the qualified immunity route.
No,
we'll do that.
I'm not worried about it. I wasn't even going to try to argue for or against it. It's whenever I hear someone make the statement that there should be some ability to recoup from that, I just always bring up if they can overcome the hurdle of the interlocutory appeals that are qualified immunity. That's just a little small tidbit. That wasn't to debate it. It debates itself, doesn't it?
So I want to ask you.
Do you know of any? Not to make the whole thing about qualified immunity, but there's a process for the legal side of things, and there becomes statute or becomes it goes to the Supreme Court and becomes case law is the word I'm looking for. Do you know of any big qualified immunity case that has been taken to the Supreme Court?
Well, that's the problem. That's what Mr. Billfold will get into, is that these motherfuckers won't make a fucking judgment. They won't make anything. And that is the problem with qualified immunity. This is where I agree with Mr. Billfold. They won't make a fucking court decision. They won't set precedents on anything. So nothing ever happens.
That's the process.
Yeah,
is
look,
because on the
if
legal
you give
side,
me
on the police officers, just like on a DUI accident, when someone gets killed in the accident, they can plead to lesser charges to still take care of the incident. The officers have the same option. They have the ability to go to different charges to agree or a plea agreement, whatever. But then that case becomes a plea agreement for this charge, and then the qualified immunity becomes something that it's not even read in, and it's not an issue. So it's nothing that has to go to the Supreme Court. So the problem is we need. I would say we need a good. When I say we need a good, like there's no. I don't say that, and is there? I want something to happen, but something that has happened needs to be tried to the point where there's enough legal debate about qualified immunity that becomes what is the case is about, and then it needs to go to the Supreme Court, and then there needs to be absolute no shit case law of this is how it is. And this is how it's applied. Because until then,
listen, but we already have that now. Deadleg, we have that now. Look at Pennsylvania versus Mims. Pennsylvania versus Mims is a Supreme Court decision. Okay, it's a decision that allows an officer, if he has, according to Supreme Court case law, if he can articulate the safety issue at hand, he can get a person out of their vehicle. But with all the near dozen circuit courts that we have in this on citing that Pennsylvania versus Mims, which state that the officer need not even. So you talk about we just need to have it this way, and then we'll get it to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court can give us a decision. That's not what they do. That's not what they're in the habit of doing. I rather think they like this sort of created qualified immunity as a doctrine out of whole cloth. So don't expect them to be licking their chops to accept any qualification. But the real story comes from we're not able to get cases in front of a jury and then have it appealed up. Because qualified immunity keeps it from prongs. Even if you establish that a right was violated, if you can argue that the right is not clearly violated the right.
Nope. I was going to say, we're starting to lose connection on him. He's got a shit connection. What do you got, Ray?
I as far as qualified immunity goes, I can't imagine that the forefathers sat back and said, we're going to guard the people against the government, except when the government screws up. We're going to protect the government over the people when everything that we've written down, the government goes against. We're going to make sure that the government's going to be protected and not the citizens. I can't wrap my head around that's any conclusion that any court came to.
Yeah. So I guess I'll
wait till I get my channel going. Forefathers 1787.
Hell yeah, brother.
It'll be a couple weeks, but
I'll tell you what, you get your channel going, come back on the show. We'll put you out there and we'll get your shit shouted out.
It's going to be some crazy shit.
So what I'll say is that can we meet on mutual ground that our forefathers were smart enough and wise enough and introspective enough to know that they don't know everything. And when they made it so it was able to flow fluidly and be changed with the pace of time.
It's able to breathe.
Yes.
I agree.
I think we all, it's malleable. I think we all agree on that. And I also think that we agree we've come a long fucking way at understanding human behavior for science, all of these things that people are able to actually back up with science versus the emotional feel of like, well, that motherfucker looked at me wrong, or he was about to hit me, and then his back was turned and they fired rounds. Well, turns out there's a whole science to this and how long it takes to so there's all of these things. And then when it comes to law enforcement, I think it's fair to say, just like you pointed out, qualified immunity was made because we realized this is a job that not a lot of people want to do, but we understand that it's needed. Now, this is where we have to find the common ground. If you're the type of person, and I know, Ray, you're not this person, but if you're the type of person that believes that police shouldn't exist at all, well, that's a whole other, like, you're not even on the realm of conversation with us. We're fundamentally different. But if we can meet on common ground that we both believe police should exist, okay, well, that's where the conversation has to go. And then we got to start talking about, just like you said, real world, in the moment, fucking making decision situations. Were you military, by the way? Navy. All right. Yeah. So you were military. Makes sense. So,
yeah, I was born into the Army and went Navy.
Gotcha. So I just flipped your camera around so now I can read your shirt. But yeah, now you, so you get it. You understand that sometimes you make decisions on the fly and it could be wrong. Military guys get it, even if you're not a cop. So if we're going to meet on that common ground, qualified immunity makes sense. But I think where you and I all agree is that it's fucked up. It has to be fixed. If we get rid of it, and I'm going to jump off of this ship right after this comment, but if we get rid of it, then we're not going to get the clientele that we want to be cops. That is what I think. I think it needs to be fixed. I think there's problems with it.
I think they've done exactly with qualified immunity, just as they've done with Pennsylvania v. Mims, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all swung one way.
Yeah.
One way.
And that wasn't the spirit of it. The spirit, hold on one second, Deadleg, yep. But the spirit of Pennsylvania v. Mims was you should have been able to articulate a safety concern. That is the spirit of Pennsylvania v. Mims, and they have bastardized it to the point where it's just an officer safety. I just got to say, officer safety, I need you to step out of the car. Right. Or they just barely crack the window, and they're like, all right, officer safety, get out of the car. Pennsylvania v. Mims, Maryland v. Wilson, everybody get out of the car.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I'm with you. 100% right there. Anyway,
I believe
go ahead, Deadleg.
Over time, like not just the United States, we'll just go back to like Roman, like over time, people have been the same. The technology and the things that they've had available to them have changed over time.
Yeah.
And one of the things that has been a precluder for people growth is knowledge and the share of knowledge. And now I literally have every answer I ever wanted to know is at my fingertips. I don't have to go to like a formal school to get an education to know. Like you literally have every tool available. Not only do you have that tool available, you have a camera that like when I was in high school 20-some years ago, 25, 30 years ago, back then they were saying the amount of time that you spend being filmed during the day versus not filmed, you spend more time being filmed. And that was 25 years ago. Now we're even worse now. So I believe that, in the spirit of what I believe body cameras should catch cops doing cop work. And if it catches cops not doing cop work, like what it looks like we've caught here, that is an absolute issue.
Yeah.
And then when the cops are, and like the physical people on the street, that's an issue. Then you have the chief of police in a video stating things that you can literally contradict with the body cam and the dash cam footage. That's an issue. Then you have the clerk saying that I am supposed to be this third-party person that redacts this stuff. I remember this case. I redacted the once. I was the one that redacted that. That stuff was redactable. He's like, well, you forgot this, and I've linked it up. Do you want me to show you? And they're like, so it's not just the officers on the street. It's from the chief down. There's an issue with this agency.
Yeah.
And now, at any time in the point of history, to hold people accountable, we have the ability to do that. So with the First Amendment auditors, with FOIA requests, with all of what's going on, that's why I encourage you to watch that video because if you want to troll, and I do mean legally troll, that's as close to that I would be physically feel comfortable doing as what Ben did. Like, go ahead and register as an entity and create a lottery. Go ahead and create, go through a bill of sale and sell, to create $100,000 in sales and 10 individual people that they sued him individually in small claims court to get 10 individual default judgments that they like, to go through all of the effort and then still get to the point that they are. And then they've recorded it and put it out there to the public. Like, look, all right, this is what's going on. Because the part of the video that's part of the, I would say the issue that's going on is his video, his first part that was put out, he was already it was in motion. He was already in process of filming that. The arrest was already happening. The traffic stop's already happening. So my theory, and just understanding how social media and YouTube and this works, is he.
We lost you. We're losing everybody, Ray.
I'm here.
Yeah.
So what I had for dinner was
there we go. So my theory is he wanted to have a complete video and put it out. And then he got to the point where I was like, hey, I'm being arrested. They got warrants they're pulling out on me. We're being searched. We got to do something. So I put this video out. Well, then the chief puts a video out. So then he has a rebuttal. Like, if you go to look at his channel, like, you can see the historical, like how he has put videos out historically. They've been pretty complete, and they might have a follow-up, but he has like a pretty, full arch in the story, and at the end of it, there's a conclusion, and then you go on to the next video, the next victim, or the next issue, the next whatever. This is the next whatever. And now in the middle of this, now there's all these legal problems, and now they've caught them literally on their own cameras. They have more than what I believe a slam dunk case. Like, this guy has funded himself for the remainder of this year to do all of his private investigations and whatever he's got to do, and any legal battles that he may have because of this will be more than taken care of. I believe the family that was involved in this from the first place, if they haven't been made whole from all of the sales that were done in the video and things, I believe that no matter what, they're going to be made whole and then some. I don't know the timeline of that. Hopefully that they've had, been able to help their father and the cancer and all that stuff. But like, you have now all of these other places that are involved, because from what I understand, most of these places, they're all independently owned and operated franchises. Yeah, I love that. I was dealing with that with an issue with Toyota. So I love that. That the corporation can be the corporation, put their name on the front door, but then step off when there's any issues that happen, because it's independently owned and operated. But very much they are, lack of a better term, balls deep in this issue, because they have them on their own security camera footage, having conversations like, yeah, we know, yeah, we know it's part of the business. We're assuming it. So like do you have the open and shut case? Like, I don't know what rebuttal evidence comes on the other side of this to dispute stuff.
Yeah.
Leave it to the chief. He'll tell you.
Right. Ray, let me ask you this. Do you think it was civil, criminal, or both?
Initially, it was a civil issue.
Well, I asked Ray, not you.
On which side? On which part?
On just the Lego issue to begin with. Like, this whole debate about them stealing it. Do you think this was a civil issue, or do you think it was criminal?
It was civil. It started out civil.
Yeah.
And then it creeped into the criminal, but not on the criminal, on the victim.
Right.
On the true victim. So yeah, it was civil. How else is anybody supposed to serve somebody with court papers without stalking them? Let's be honest. I did process serving for, I don't know, 2 months, whatever, when I was way younger. But I remember having to stalk people to find them, because they weren't just opening up their doors. You had to go find these people. So then with even realizing that, these guys are trying to serve papers, and why the cop didn't just, you're served, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't want them. But, I mean, it was civil, and it could have ended right there. Hand the papers to the dude. It's done. He would have packed up and he would have left. There's no other reason to be there.
Yeah, from the police side, and again, guys, I'm not an expert on all the details of this. I literally just started yesterday, last night, and a lot of this morning. So take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But shall I dare to say, Ray, the cops, I think, in this case are the catalyst to it becoming criminal.
Yes. Yes. After all, I mean,
right?
You can't have anybody tell you what to do except for the guy who doesn't want to be served with papers. You just listen to what he says.
Right? Isn't that crazy? That is the thing that bothers me probably the most, because I can tell you right now, the moment a civilian, the moment another cop starts to try to tell me how to run my call, and it's not an ego thing. Like if they give me genuinely good advice, but oh yeah, that's probably a better way. I'll do it that way. But if they start trying to tell me how to run my call, I'll kick them off my call. Get the fuck out. Like I don't need you.
Done.
This is my call. You're not doing it. Don't tell me how to run my call. Because at the end of the day, my name's the one that's on it. I'm the one that's got to go to court on it. And that's why even the most baseline officer can tell his chief to kick rocks unless he's going to take the report and do it himself. I don't recommend that. But I'm just saying, do it respectfully. But you could do that. So let me get to Sydney's question. Can y'all back up and discuss the big picture, which is we see a police department interfering with a processor serving court papers from another state? Very true. This shifts into authority into FBI and DOJ. Yes. You're right.
My thought is that's where it could have won. Like you're saying, that's where it could have just stopped. Because if you understand, and you have them on their own body camera footage,
getting drink,
calling the process serving place to see if this is a legal docket. Like they called to see if it's legal, and they found out it was legal. So they literally have in their own footage understand that there's no crime there. They are trying to serve legal paperwork. So at that point, the alleged victim can now go back into their house, do whatever the hell they want because it's over. The scene is over. The alleged suspect can still walk right up to the front door, knock on it, knock on it, because despite some states you have to physically identify who they are, and they have to be notified, and you have to hand it to them. Some states are a lot more strict than others with that, but you have to be served. Like
the cop was standing right there with the papers in hand, and the guy asked, "Can I take a peek?" As soon as he does, it's done. It's over. You served him. He asked to see them, and the cop says, "Meh."
Yeah.
And then at that point, it still becomes a civil matter, and the police have nothing to do with it.
Yes.
They absolve themselves from the scene. They cut ties and just go home.
And that tells me they're inexperienced as cops. Because I can tell you, I just had a dumbass try to serve one of my guys. Is a subpoena for one of my guys. But he went to our patrol car garage. I don't know how he went there. Like there is no police even stationed there. Like it just happens to be one of our police parts of our department. So he's way out there. I get a call from the garage and they're like, "Hey, we saw you're the supervisor for this guy. Somebody's trying to serve him here." And I'm like, "Oh my God. All right. Like tell him to come." I work late. I don't work normal hours. I don't even go to work till 4 p.m. So I was like, he's going to have to come after hours and just hit the gate button and then I'll let him in. I got to know when he's going to come up. And the dude tried to go right from there to my shop. Neither that guy that he needs to serve was there and I wasn't there. Now at my department, the supervisor, the direct supervisor, can sign for a subpoena. This guy would not allow the day sergeant to sign for it, which to me is apples to oranges. It's a supervisor over the same unit. It's all the same. It's not going to make a difference. Point is, it's going to get to the right person. We're not going to hide it because our name's going on it. You got a sworn peace officer that's signing for it. It's getting to the right person. We work just as a notary and all that other stuff, right? Sorry, my eyes itching like crazy all of a sudden. So he wouldn't do it. Yeah. And it just drove me nuts. And so eventually my guy came and I was like, hey, somebody's trying to serve you, just so you know. He's like, yeah, I actually got a hold of the guy. He's going to send it to me digitally now. So cool. I mean, cops are not trying to outrun subpoenas. We get them all the time. It's not a big deal. It's part of the job. But that's my point, is I don't think old fucking American fork, I don't think they deal with this a whole lot. I'm going to look it up. I want to know what the population is.
I hear it's very small. It's a very small area within a big city.
Of what is it called? American Fork, Utah.
Was it?
Is
it just outside of Provo?
37 to 42,000. So where I'm at, that's tiny.
It's on the north side of Salt Lake City.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, on the south side of Salt Lake City, on the north side of Utah Lake.
And I wonder how many cops they have. They have 54 sworn and 10 civilian. So
not that big.
Not big.
Divide that up into 2 shifts.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you really break when you do it that way. And this is where Ray is smart. So for anybody listening there is like, why does that make a difference? Well, because one shift significantly gets more work typically than the other shift. So that gives that shift more experience.
More stuff.
Yeah. Usually your evening shift gets the most experience because they handle the bulk of calls. They're dealing with the as much of a rush hour that 37,000 people can get. They get the rush of people, leaving work and the other shift going to work. So they get a lot of car accidents and stuff of that nature. They get the domestic call time frame. They just get a lot. And then your nights, your midnights guys, they get the violent stuff. They tend to get a lot more of the violent crime, just not as high volume. So, and then your day guys, everybody knows your old salty cops work days because a lot less calls. They don't have
all the ones that you get are usually just crazy, stupid stuff.
Yeah, they don't have to deal with a whole lot. So, but yeah,
not a lot of in progress.
Yeah. So to Ray's point, like I'm wondering if they even really deal with subpoenas a whole lot, and understand that they just put more work on themselves by not just doing it. You just created a whole other clusterfuck for yourself by it's a hot potato. Just get rid of it.
Well, all they got to do is become the YouTube lawyer that the rest of us are. Look shit up.
Right?
Just look shit up.
Yeah.
How hard is that?
Part of me thinks that at least one of them there on the scene with the stalking, it's one of them knew something, because if they physically hand him and let him see it, then I'm not sure the specifics of the statute of it's. Now he's been served.
Yeah.
I gave it to a law enforcement officer. A law enforcement officer gave it to him. That transition of it's now in his possession. Now it's good. He's served. I don't know if that satisfies that in the state, and if the officer knew or didn't know that, because the guy asked to see it and he goes, I don't know about that, because he asked, "Can I take a peek?"
Yeah.
If you're that curious, take a peek.
Yeah, in a disguise makes a great point. He's saying that the papers are fake and didn't make sense. If they're fake, just take them. They're fake. It means nothing. And that's a damn good point.
Yep.
Just fucking do it. That's so weird. Fezza, I think that's how you say this name. F3ZZA. Fezza. Fuzza says, so nearly half the PD swatted them for Legos.
Yes.
Yeah. Right? And it's crazy too, because if you look behind me, I'm obviously a Star Wars nerd, so I'm on the side of Star Wars Lego, y'all. Like,
But here, the amount, like, you got to think before you even get to the point where they're there at that door. Someone had to take a statement. They had to swear to that statement. They had to take that report, create a report, create a search warrant, take that to a judge. A judge has to look at this and say that everything in there is good to go. A judge signs off on this, hands it back to the police department. The police department now gets however many officers are involved, supervisors involved, their tactical team, however many multi-jurisdiction that they might have to use. If they got to pull somebody else's Bearcat because they don't have one.
Yeah.
Because they don't, there's 55 guys there. You know, they see speeders and people sleeping on park benches. I don't know. But the amount of resources and manpower is being spent to get to the point where you go to do the search warrant, and then you do the search warrant, and you find out it's absolutely nothing. And then we find out all of the other side of this. It's very hard for anybody to objectively look at this and go, because the question I ask is, what piece of evidence would come from the Bricks and Minifigs people, or what piece of evidence, what's the smoking gun that you would see that would be like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I don't know how they got a warrant. Go ahead, Ray.
They got a warrant because what they presented was, now I'm getting this from, the civil rights attorney, clearly established.
Hey, if those guys say it, you can take it to the bank.
Hey, yeah.
I'm serious.
They got the warrant because the Airbnb owner is friends or is known to one of the officers. And the Airbnb guy says, I heard them talking about stolen Legos. So they take that information and go get the warrant.
Oh my God.
But it was also said that Ben was taken into custody at that raid.
Right. I think all of them were, like 4 people.
Right. But
yeah.
They were, I can't remember exactly, but the point is that they went in there to go get Ben for no warrant, no nothing. The whole reason behind it was they put it as stolen Legos. How do you go raid someone's house because someone said
right
stolen Legos? How do you put that towards stalking?
Listen, y'all, I have written a lot of warrants. I've written many search warrants. The effort you have, I have to drive by the location. I have to take an updated picture. I have to describe the color. I've got to talk about the yard. I've got to talk about, that's just the location. Then I got to get into what my probable cause is that gives me a reason for the search. I can't just go off of the word of somebody else. I can't go, oh, a confidential informant told me that there's dope in that house. That doesn't work. I got to know the location. I got to know what it looks like. It's got to be described by the third party person. They got to be able to tell me, oh, it was a Death Star Lego that was approximately yay big and was 3,000 pieces, and it was in this room.
Intimate details that only
intimate details are the only way.
Would know.
So, Ray, you tell me, because this is the vibe I'm getting. I know Deadleg's getting it too. How corrupt is the judge system, the judicial system over there?
Look, I think it's very easy that they just walked in with a piece of paper. Hey, judge, sign this, and well, he was getting his shoes polished underneath the desk, so he signs that real quick. Doesn't even look. Here you go.
Yeah.
And I think that happens all the time. I think it happens more often than not.
I think it does happen a lot. I'm with you. I do think it happens a lot, especially at smaller departments where everybody fucking knows each other. Yep. I don't disagree. I want to get to Mr. Billfold's comment. He made a really good point that I wasn't intending to do. I meant to read it. Damn it. Where'd it go? There it is. Erik, you cannot blame their department size for their intentional lies on sworn affidavits. Lies and inconsistencies in these reports are not unintentionally made. Agreed. That wasn't the point that I'm making. I'm just trying to get to the point that smaller departments tend to screw these things, the normal things up that somebody like me takes for granted because we deal with them every day, where they deal with it maybe once a year with departments that size. But no, you're 100% right. I'm not trying to deflect off that. And then Ario dropped $5 in the super chat. And he said, what do you think about the unredacted body cam footage when the officer said to make sure they don't get their phones and start recording? I don't recall that. I didn't see that. I didn't see that myself. I don't know if you guys saw it, but if that's what they said, my opinion of that is shame on you. Now your badges need to be taken. Your badge and gun needs to be gone because there's no way in hell you should be everything that you do at work. You should be wanting to do in front of a camera, except for go to the bathroom.
Just as they were walking up to the house to do the raid, he says, "Hey, be careful. These guys are going to start recording once we get there." And then when this dude actually, he's watching people come out, and then he goes to grab Ben because Ben is now starting to get his phone going to record. That's the only reason why he put his hands on Ben immediately. He stopped him from recording.
Really? Okay. Because I can 979. This is maybe the first time I've seen your name on here, brother. But he did drop $10 in the super chat. As you can tell, guys, we are very close with our community. We're used to the names that we see on here. So every time I see new people on here, I fucking love it. So if tonight you want to jump on the live, this is what makes us different. I am an active cop. If you are new, we have a ton of people on here tonight. I've seen at least 200 people on here. If you're new to us, I am an active cop. This is what sets us apart. Show me another active cop that's willing to have these conversations, bring anybody and anybody on to talk with us. And I think you will find we are not an echo chamber for police. As you can see, I think, Ray, we're all in accordance on this one, right? I think we all agree that there is way too many red flags that, I mean, I'm not going to claim to be the best detective in the world, but if it smells like a duck and walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, right? It's probably a duck. So it's too much shit. But let me read, because I can, 979. Thank you for joining us, brother. And all the money you guys donate to us goes directly back into the show. It doesn't go into anybody's pocket. That's not what we do here. So you directly support the show and the abilities that it can have. So thank you. The B&B raid can be considered religious prosecution because Ben's religious group, Church of Scientology, sucks. It was a church gathering. It's common for churches to raise money like GoFundMe, etc.
So
that's kind of clever.
This is why I like this Ben guy. If you watch the first video, it's an hour and 20 some minutes long.
It's pretty clever.
Lengths that he goes to cover his ass, to have the no shit, I am right, you are wrong, here is the evidence in my hand. Dispute it. The lengths that he goes to, I wouldn't surprise me if he did that, because then they're right.
Because you know damn well, and Ray, I don't know if you're aware of this, there's an upcharge to crimes when it's considered engaging in organized crime. And I bet it takes 3 or more to be engaging in organized crime. Tell me that they are not going to try to charge Ben with engaging in organized crime.
When it should be the police who should be engaged or charged.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are going to do that in a heartbeat. So this church thing is actually pretty fucking genius.
Because I can should be a defense attorney.
Yeah, because I can. That was, bro, I don't know if you came up with that on your own, but that is fucking brilliant. That's some clever thinking. Holy shit, that's pretty clever. Auburn Thaw. That's a cool name, by the way. Appreciate you. Dropped $10 in the super chat and said, there was a second part to the raid. The cop afterwards said on body cam that the main guy was starting to record. So I took his phone and turned it off. Holy shit. Prison.
More intent.
Prison.
You can't, here's where
you deserve jail. Fuck you.
They bring up the term qualified immunity. There's 2 words in that phrase. The first one is qualify. You have to qualify for the immunity. So if you are privy and known that the information that you are getting ready to kick that door on is absolute bullshit, you are getting hung with the same noose that everyone else that kicked the door did. Now, if you're some brand new young Joe that just came out of the academy and you don't know any difference, that's where the qualified immunity comes into play. But if you now have a judge, the chief, supervisors, people that are running the SWAT team, how do you argue that you can't argue a mistake when there's this many mistakes?
Yeah. And to Brian Murphy's point in the comment, you can see right here, he said the AFPD admitted that they accidentally posted the unredacted video. That's how bad they are. And man, I really was trying to avoid taking a side tonight. That's really what I just want to stay agnostic. You guys know me. Try to stay pretty neutral. I can't do it tonight. I cannot do it. There's too much bullshit. And then and having it on camera that you took a phone to stop somebody from recording, fuck every part of you. You don't deserve the badge.
How about the one where he says, I need to confiscate your phone. So the guy starts to hand him his phone, but hits the lock button and they charge him with tampering with evidence. This
was on this call?
Yes.
Tampering with evidence?
It wasn't on that particular call, but it was when they had put the sign up on the fence. When they went to take down the sign, they said, I need to take your phone. And so as he was handing it to the officer, he hit the power button because he noticed that it was unlocked and open.
Yeah.
And so when he went to hit it, they cuffed him up, tampering with evidence.
Gotcha.
You can't do anything hitting the lock button.
No, that doesn't qualify as tampering with evidence. You have to have a warrant to get in my phone.
Destruction of evidence or whatever it was.
Yeah, either way. You still
right. What Lego is going to fit inside this?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Now I get it. There are like dope dealers and stuff like that. When we bust a dope dealer, like one of the first things we try to get a hold of is their phone because that's a crucial part of evidence. But we can't do anything with it. I got to get a warrant for it. I may arrest you. I may find dope and a gun or whatever it is, and that allowed me to make an on-view arrest. But I can't just get into your phone. And even if let's say I convince you to let me into it, like I still need to have a whole plethora of, I need you to sign. I need you to say that you're giving me permission to get in your phone. Like that's policy and procedure stuff. But like you can't just, and then I can't charge you if you tell me no. I mean, that's really what he did. If he locked the phone, he's just telling him, no, you can't be on my phone.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with it. Yeah.
He got mad because he couldn't get into it at that point.
Yeah. Fuck.
And they were following the line. The reason that they made contact was because that was defamation. And as far as I know, because I'm a 9th grade dropout, defamation is civil.
Yeah.
But I'm
right. Yeah.
I'm nobody.
Yeah. Mr. Billfold, been a member for 15 months, dropped in and he said, Eric, you missed this. The tampering thing happened. Is that what we were just talking about?
Yeah, there's been a lot that has happened in
the last 24, 48 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
And every second there's probably here, let me go to YouTube and refresh and see if there's a new video.
Yeah, right.
The Lego, that's us.
Oh, Black Saw Johnny said that they also leaked somebody's social security number.
Yep.
Jesus.
I think it was the guy that they for the phone.
So you redact the stuff you're not supposed to, and then you let the shit go through that you're not supposed to. Get your shit together.
Par for the course, I guess.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, Mr. Billfold is our OG. He is the very first member we ever had. So thank you, Mr. B. Yeah. And Mr. Billfold's not wrong. He goes, if Eric's actually seen 25% of this, he couldn't have pretended to be impartial, and he's not wrong. I haven't seen it all. I spent all morning watching watching the like 15 videos Mr. Billfold sent me, because he was the lead runner in that. And every video he sends me is like an hour and a half. So between trying to watch that and trying to handle the podcast stuff for today, like it was a lot. It was a lot to take in. But like, I mean, to Ray's point, I mean, Ray, this is what I like. So if you guys don't know, Ray is I Am Boss that has been commenting the last. How long have you been with us now? Have you been lurking a long time, or
I first hit you on a short. I don't know. It's been a while.
Okay.
But I said you'll be hearing from me a lot lately. Now we were going back and forth on
I love it.
Particular post. But I just probably started watching these probably under 2 months.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Because I just noticed your participation went way up, and I love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've watched a little bit of I've got most of them up right now. So I've watched Clearly Established. He's got some great stuff on this. I obviously watched Reckless Ben. I watched oh man, I think there was another big one I watched, Civil Rights Lawyer. I watched his stuff. By the way, for those listening, I have Southern Draw Law. He's going to be on the show. Yeah. We haven't picked a date yet, but he's going to be on. I'm super pumped. So he's added to the repertoire of really badass people that we've had. We've had Long Island Audit. We've had San Joaquin Valley Transparency, Otto the Watchdog. Now we're going to have him. We've had HBO Matt. I got to get Cody High Roller. Cody High Roller is he's an auditor in my city where I work. I won't say where I work, but he actually audited me on the street, and we had a great conversation, and he's been a follower ever since. So tells you how cool of an auditor he is.
I found you through Dominic Izzo.
Oh, through Izzo. Yeah. Izzo, great.
When you went to his and had a chat or whatever, I think that's when I found you.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Dom, I've had great conversations with Dom on the phone. Dom holds me to the fire quite a bit because I'm a sergeant, as he should. And he'll call me up. Hey, I'm lighting you up on this video. And I'm like, all right, yeah, you're not wrong. I get what you're saying. Because
he's got a grasp of that First Amendment, doesn't he?
Yeah.
His freedom of speech. He's got a real strong grasp on that.
Well, the thing is he knows I'm limited because I'm still employed as a cop. And that is, listen, I love y'all. I try to do my best. I try to bridge this gap the best way I can without jeopardizing my family. And that's kind of that is the limitations to what I'll do. And you guys know that. When I retire, all the gloves are off. It's gonna be game on. I'm gonna be unleashed. It'll be fun. But for now, this is what you get from me. And I don't think it's Ray. You tell me. Is it that bad?
No,
it's not terrible.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I think we're doing all right.
Yeah.
The 40-year-old gamer. God, aren't we all? He said, I wish the Mormon Church would just come out and denounce all of these people and somehow redeem themselves, because I'm legit scared of them being in positions of power after this. I mean, I look at it a lot like my brother-in-law was a homicide detective in Clearwater, Florida. He's since retired, but it's a huge Scientology thing. And the stories he tells me where they won't, like, you're on like a homicide investigation and they won't let you onto the property, even with a court order. Like crazy shit. Like the power some of these churches can have is insane. So, listen, I don't know if we're up past 200 people now. If you want to be on and talk about this, please reach out to our mods on the chat. We will get you on. Ray is one of you. He is one of the people in the crowd that either likes or hates us, whatever. I'm not going to put words in your mouth, Ray, but he's a participant in the community. Yeah, give it that. You guys are all right. He's Madam Air Force, and he couldn't get in the Air Force. So,
like I wanted to spend that kind of time.
Bro, I'll give you the honest to God truth. Why I didn't pick the Navy is I'm afraid of swimming. Yeah.
I chose the Navy because of the uniform.
They do have badass uniforms. The one that I would never want to wear is the white one that y'all have, though. That
it's
looks
absolutely horrible.
That's what I heard. I heard it's a nightmare.
I forget. We have one called the ice cream man. That's the one between the dress and what at the time was dungarees. Let me date myself. But that's the one where you look like the ice cream man.
Yeah.
I hated those.
Yeah.
Hated them. Love the winters.
Real quick, the Don Dunpeel said, have you watched any Cop Talk Live with Dominic Azo? He can be a little harsh at times. He's a former officer. I don't know if you know this, Don. I won't hold it against you. Dom and I are friends. We text on the phone. We talk. I let him know when I'm going to mention him in some of his videos that he puts out. But yeah, we're buddies, and I think he's good people. I don't always agree with everything he says. There's some things that we disagree on, for sure, especially when it comes to women in law enforcement. But I mean, we're never going to, guys, if your expectations is we're going to agree on everything, this probably ain't the place for you, because we're going to disagree. The thing that the thing that I try to foster here is if we disagree, let's talk about it. We may not agree at the end, but we can figure out each other's position. Because you single-handedly in the last 5 years of me doing this have made me a better cop than I ever was in the previous, 15 years before I started doing this. So it was an unexpected outcome of doing what we do. But yeah, if you guys want to get on here, please reach out to our mods in the chat and jump on, and we will start talking about this case. We're going to stick to the Lego case, but jump on and let us know. Ray, is there any other part of this that you wanted to bring up that we haven't talked about yet?
No, I think we hit pretty much all the big issues on that one.
Okay. Well, I just want to get to know you a little bit more. So you served in the Navy. How long did you do?
My contract was 8 years.
Okay. So you did 8 years. What did you do?
I was an aviation electrician.
Oh.
So what I was told is that my job would have taken 5 Air Force people to do.
There it is. Shots fired. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Listen, I was born into the military. My father was in the JAG. My mother was an MP. Mom didn't join till I was like 8 or 9, whatever. I was born in Tokyo. I lived across overseas. I went to 5th grade in Berlin when the wall was still up. I've been around. I'm one of those kids who was growing up. I know there's a video out there of when the reveille or taps is played at the end of the day on base, and you got those kids at the playground who snap to attention.
Yeah.
I was one of those, not physically one of those kids, but I was one of those kids.
You're a base brat. Yeah.
I'm 100% brat. What's 100%. Being patriotic was just bred into me. I don't care blue or red. All I care about is what is right.
Yeah.
If it's legal to do it, do it. If it's not legal, don't do it. And it's especially tough when you see the people who are charged with that job who's supposed to be legal doing it illegally. I believe, when the government comes down on you, whoever comes down on you and does it illegally, as far as I'm concerned, it's treason. There's only one penalty for treason.
That's why you like Izzo.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, that's why you like Izzo.
My mom was an MP, and I've told her, I've had conversations with her saying women don't belong in law enforcement.
Ooh.
Oh, absolutely.
Shots
Let me
fired.
tell you, Mom was, dykish, okay? Let me tell you. You don't want to fuck with Mom.
I push back on that because I've had very, very good. I had a female officer save my ass. I'll call her out, Angie Mapes. I was in a fight. I don't want to call it a knockdown drag out, but I was on top of a guy, another guy I'm holding on to. So I'm fighting 2 people. Meanwhile, the third family member is coming out of nowhere. I lost sight of all the people. So I'm trying to hold on to two people, and this person's about to blindside me. And she comes out of nowhere with old throat gulch, like right to the, up against the wall. She saved my ass. That guy had me dead to rights. I never would have saw it coming. Who knows what would have happened? But she saved my bacon, and she handled her own. She didn't need my help with that guy. And so to me, I've had some really good female officers.
Okay. But I think to that point is what I have seen, have seen women have to seem to overcompensate to make sure that, you feel tough, make sure that you feel like you're in charge. Listen, some 5'2", 100-pound woman wants to come up to me and just, start bullying me around like some police do. I asked for a cop, not a kid.
Yeah.
Back the fuck up. Let's wait for the real police to show up. I'm sorry. Let's wait for the real police. I'm not against women. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like I said, mom was an MP, but my goodness. Not everybody, just because you have two legs doesn't mean you should be a cop.
Fair. But this is where I'll push back slightly, and maybe Deadlight can back me up on this. Us as male police, we kind of push females to that point where they have to go above and beyond to prove themselves, because we don't give them the time of day and we don't give them the acknowledgement. So they do overcompensate for the positions that some of us male officers put them in. Instead of just giving them the respect that they're just another coworker, they get treated like shit until they prove themselves. And whose fault is that? That's kind of our fault.
The thing about it is, I think the middle ground is you have to be physically fit and able to. You have to be trained physically fit and able to do the job. If you're unable to physically do the job, depending on if you're 6'7", 350 pounds, or you're 5'2", 200, like it doesn't matter. I had a rookie one time he was 6'7". He used to power lift for the Air Force. This guy was a ginormous human being. He's one of those people, you just look at him and be like, yeah, I don't care if it's a light alley, dark alley. I don't want to meet you in an alley, period. You're just one of those intimidating human beings. We went to a call one time and had a naked guy that was drunk and was dealing with it. And I was like, he was there calling for backup. I'm like, dude, you could just physically just lay on him. You don't have to know what you're doing. Just use your massive, you weigh more than him. But on the other side of it, I had a guy that I worked with, he was super tiny, but he just knew his jujitsu. And if we got into a physical altercation, I wanted Shane to show up because everyone knew, like on the cop side of it, we knew that Shane didn't fuck around. But on the people that we were dealing with side of it, they always looked at him as like, oh, there's this tiny guy we can just do whatever we want with. And Erik will tell you, and if you guys know, if you know how to do jiu-jitsu, it doesn't matter how big or small you are. If the guy that you're messing with or girl you're messing with doesn't, you can physically embarrass them.
Yeah, you do have a huge advantage, but you're one shot away from being knocked the fuck out.
You still have that. But
my thing is if you're a badass, you're a badass. Okay, but you got to have a reason to be a badass. And I'll tell you, the badge is not the reason you want to show up with for being a badass.
Fair. This is fair. That's a fair point. 100%. I'm trying to get back to the American Fork situation here. Justin said, honestly, the problem with the situation in the American Fork is that it was a club where everyone was connected to their church. The BAM.
Bricks and Minifigs.
And Minifigs.
Yeah,
okay. I'm like, that confuses me. The Bricks and Minifigs guy was treated like royalty because of, yes, we kind of touched on that, but yeah, let's go back to that. Because that is where when we talked about red flags, that was the red flag I told you guys that I had, was I've never talked to a complaining party that way. I've never divulged all that information. any of that stuff. And I'm a person that preaches give information when you can. Like if you're the guy that's working a perimeter on a significant assault or whatever it is, and a community member comes up and they're like, what's going on? Don't secret squirrel them. That's my big push that I tell cops all the time. Quit secret squirreling people. I can't talk about it. Yes, you can. There's shit you can tell. Be like, oh, somebody was seriously hurt. We've got an ambulance up there. We had to seal we sealed all this off just in case there's evidence that we got to collect. We're just not sure what the crime scene actually is right now. You're not ruining the case. You're not divulging any secret squirrel stuff, but you've engaged with a community member that has a right to know what's going on in their community. And what we tend to do is we give them that secret squirrel. I can't talk about anything. It's G4 classified. And it ends up being animosity between the community. And to the point of what Justin was talking about, this guy was treated unfairly in his favor. And I don't think that that's right. I think that's where the red flags start to come out, is that this department's not acting and behaving in a manner that's non-partial. And I think that's to the point that Ray was bringing up. It's like, no, look at all this shit that these guys are doing. So Wade said, he's got cauliflower ears, going to taser. You're not wrong. Listen, I've been doing jiu-jitsu since 06. If that guy squares off and I see cauliflower ears, yeah, I'm going to taser.
That's a smart move right there. That's the name of seeing a few things.
I'm not trying to show whose belt's better. Perry said he's out. Good night, Perry. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I'm looking through the comments right now. B the One Love says the American Fork PD needs to be investigated by an out-of-state entity for corruption. I think the FBI would be a good start. I agree. Have the FBI investigate them. Let the chips land where they will. If they were honestly just idiots, I would rather find out that they were just idiots. But if there's some corruption there, then we need to drain the swamp.
I don't think the FBI and the DOJ have enough people to cover all the corruption that's available. I mean, we're not just talking American Fork.
No, but I mean, there's never been this easy. There's never been this easy of evidence just laid out.
Right.
So low hanging fruit, Ray. Low hanging fruit. Let's fucking pick it.
Right.
I'm not gonna get picky. I just let's fucking get these guys. Let's start.
This is an open and shut case.
Yeah,
this is one of the few. Because the other thing is either because once you get the judge involved and you have a warrant, that's where you start to be okay. How big of a circle? How bad is this? Because if we have the exchange of information to get to where we're at a traffic stop or to take, if we get to that point initially, okay, I can kind of understand maybe that one incident in itself, but then you get this warrant and you have this raid and you're detaining more people, and then you have another traffic stop, and then you're releasing information and you're saying hey, it's because they ran a stop sign. They ran a stop sign. We just did a traffic stop, ran a stop sign. Except the dash camera doesn't show them running a stop sign.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, it's a blue truck and you showed me a light blue truck. It's like, hey, it's a blue truck and there was a red car. Two different things happened and they were the complete opposite of each other. And that one thing is the first straw, and it comes from the chief of police.
Yeah.
Then you have all the people that were involved in the raid, all the people that were involved on either one of the traffic stops. You have the judge now. Where does this outside influence onto this agency that shouldn't be a thing at all is a problem. And they've influenced how many people have been influenced by this outside thing because of the connection to the church. And if it's the connection to the church, then becomes even a bigger issue, because there's been allegations of things like this in the past. This was very clear cut, open and shut, video evidence, their own words. I don't understand.
Hi, I'm the American Fork chief. And we're corrupt as hell, but we're going to redact everything so you don't see. Trust me, I have a badge.
I was like, "Where's Ray going with this? Let's let him cook." That's perfect. In a Disguise said, Fort PD called Josh and what's BAM stand for again?
Bricks and Minifigures.
Thank you. After the raids and other arrests, informing them of the situations while at the scene, and that is a problem with me. That is if that is true, and you've got evidence of that, that is undeniable fact that they were on the side of this person and they're giving favorable attention to one side or the other. That is crazy. That means everybody that's involved with that needs to be, your badge needs to be taken. You need to be seen in front of a jury of your peers. That's me. So listen, guys,
the whole time.
I am tell me how you feel about this, Ray. I believe when a cop gets in trouble and gets convicted by a jury of their peers, their sentence should be double that of a normal person.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
if we are going to claim to want to be held to a higher standard, it can't just be fucking words. When
but
you
it's
get
always
hammered,
less.
When you get hammered, you need to get completely
just throw the enhancement of under the power of you're the color of authority.
First
right
of all,
through.
The higher standard only applies to how you get charged in the first place. Your standards are higher to get charged than the normal person.
Yeah.
Instead of being held to a higher standard of living, a higher standard of citizenry.
Yep.
You're just held to a higher standard. And then when you get in trouble, you may get probation if you're really bad. Okay. Some people have gone to jail, obviously, but those are the standout cases, right? Those are the far and few between.
Yep. So we got Ario.
Hey.
Ario's been in the chat for quite some time. I would call him a mini OG. He's been with us for quite a long while. This is his first time being on. What's up, Ario?
Oh gosh, I gotta tell my mom I'm on TV.
What's up, brother? What do you got to say today?
So I was thinking, during the there's a traffic stop they did where they had I don't know what they even stopped him for. It was after that stoplight. It was after that traffic stop, but that's when they had searched them for marijuana. Or they said heroin
for drugs or whatever. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
They said he rolled a stop sign. Is that what it was, Deadleg?
It was another one. It was a separate one.
Oh, there's a separate.
Yeah,
there's two traffic stops.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I only knew the one.
And so in the body cam, they said, "Are you good with these guys driving, or leaving, or something like that?" And they said, "Yeah, I just wanted to scare them a little bit, or something like that."
Oh, you're right. I did see that part. You're right. I didn't realize it was two traffic stops. I guess the way the video kind of went together that I watched, I just assumed it was one traffic stop. But yes, I did hear him say, "I just wanted to scare him."
And then that's when it turns into this prolonged stop where they had the drug dog sniff, and that's when it's like 3 hours searching the car.
3 hours?
Yeah, it was like a 3 hour stop. It was.
How is that reasonable?
It's not.
Okay, folks, for those that don't know, everything is judged based on reasonableness.
Yep.
If I'm going to do a dog search of a car, it has to be reasonable in the amount of time that dog can get to the scene. Let's say. So if the dog is 15 minutes off, most courts are going to say that's reasonable. If the dog is 2 hours off, they're going to say that's not reasonable and you can't hold a person for a search with a dog for that. So let's just say what Ariel's talking about on this search, the dog was 15 minutes out. Okay, cool. Dog comes, sniffs, obviously doesn't hit on anything because we're not checking anything else out. And to extend the search and go that deep into the car, you've got to have some articulation of why you're going that far into it. What made you believe that you needed to go more than what would be considered a normal drug search?
Yeah,
They're kids.
There was they had done the field sobriety tests, and that was when they said they were okay to drive. But I don't know how it got into the dog searching, and then that's when it went to like the long, prolonged stop of them searching the vehicle. And, I mean, I wish Ben would have clarified, "Am I free to go?" That would have caught them red-handed because they would have said yes or no.
So they were playing on the predication that he assumed it was consensual.
Yes, correct.
And this goes into in area. I know you've heard me say, because you've been with us quite a long time. Ray, I'm not sure if you've heard me say this. I would love to propose a bill where officers are forced to divulge and educate.
Yeah.
Divulge and educate when they have a lawful right and when they don't. If I'm asking to search, if I pull area over and I'm like, hey, do you mind if I search your vehicle? Before you answer that, right now, I just need you to know I don't have a legal reason to be able to search your vehicle. So I'm asking for your consent, and you can deny consent.
The problem with that is the police already lie to you. They already lie to you. It's okay to lie to you.
Yeah. And I've done it. As a detective, I've done it.
Yeah.
They've told you that they have reason to be in your vehicle. They tell you and say, okay, go ahead. Well, now you have consent.
Now, I've done things like, I've got 3 guys that I know have stolen shit, and I'll be like, hey, your buddy's in the other room talking right now. Like, that's the type of lies I've done.
Yeah.
I'm not telling a person, I'm not breaking conscionable things, in my opinion. Now, I've lied. So, good, bad, or indifferent, I've still lied. So, I'll own that. But I've given you an example of how I use it. So...
It would help because, in the stop and identify states, they just need a lawful reason to detain you. And
correct.
And they couldn't tell you a thing. They just tell you you're detained. And that's when you really have to give your ID, versus Texas, where you have to be in custody.
In custody. Correct.
Yeah. Like North Dakota is a stop and ID state. And you need to ask, am I being detained? If you say yes, then yes, you have to provide your ID.
Yeah.
If you say no and don't provide your ID, you could be charged with that.
Yep.
So to your point, Eric, before we get to the comment, I would tell people that all the time. And then I would get every now and then like, are you trying to trick me? Or like,
oh yeah,
you can, and sometimes I would, I'd say, hey, no, I'm not trying to trick you, or, hey, this, you can get in this. Like I would, because a lot of times what I have found is a lot of use of force became an issue because they didn't know what was going to happen next, or I thought I was going to go to jail, or I thought I had a warrant, I thought I had this, so my practice was, if I just divulge information as much as I can to let them know what's going on as much as they can, without tipping my hand in a card, if I were doing a case or whatever, but keep them in the loop. Yeah. Let them know, hey, this is going to take like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Let me get you out of here. If not, I gotta wait and get a drug dog to be out here. Like, I don't have a drug dog on tonight, so I gotta see if I can get one from another agency. Then that's gonna take a few minutes. So we gotta wait for phone calls. I don't want to I can be just overly just tell them like, look, I don't want to tie you up. I do want to search your car, but I don't have a legal reason to do so.
Yeah.
If you want me to go through the legal reason way, it might take a little bit more time. But if I have to figure out if I have the legal reason to detain you, or if I have the time to detain you. But if it's going to take me 2 hours, I don't have a legal reason to detain you for 2 hours if I don't have time.
If it's a 3 hour, is that what you said it was, Ariel? 3 hours?
Well, it started off with it was, I think, an hour of them doing the field sobriety tests, making sure they're okay to drive. That's when you heard that recording of them being, just wanting to scare them. And somehow it evolved into a drug sniff of the dog alerted in the car. And then that's when it evolved into the whole search of the car. And I mean, it was pretty bright outside, and at the end of it was dark. You could see the reds and blues are flashing pretty bright, and it was pitch black outside. It was a long stop.
Yeah, 3 hours it's excessive. And I get it if you're an hour in and this person's a hoarder and their car's just stuffed with stuff.
Yeah,
and like I've seen those calls, and that type of search is going to take a minute. But
articulate it.
You can articulate that. But if I'm an hour in and I've got 0 to go on, it's done. I can't just keep extending it. If I've got nothing leading me on to, that next breadcrumb. so to speak. There's no breadcrumbs. You're inventing breadcrumbs and just creating a fucking loaf out of nothing.
If you're dealing with kids who don't know their rights, who don't know the law, you can fully exploit that to the fullest.
Yeah. Well,
That's
I guarantee
exactly what they did. That's what these heroes did.
Yeah. I guarantee this kid comes out of this. I mean, you think he's a force to reckon with now? Wait for the lessons of this to hit this kid. He's going to be a nightmare to other departments.
Like I said, the biggest thing that he should have done is, am I free to go?
Mm-hmm.
That's clearly they have to answer the question. If they don't, well, then it's considered a de facto arrest.
Yep. I want to. We've got a shitload more people on than we normally have, so I want to take a little pause and thank everybody that's on tonight. Appreciate it. Obviously, this was a fun topic for everybody who wanted to get involved. I am an active cop. If you guys don't know that, I am a cop in, we'll just say, North Texas. I don't talk about where I'm from, just for general orders. I don't want to get fired from my job, y'all. But this is not a cop echo chamber place. We have real discussions here. We are trying to improve policing, whether that be calling out bad cops or highlighting good. And I will say that for all the new people that are here, we really appreciate you being here. If you like what we're doing, I don't do this often. You can ask Ray, you can ask Ario. If you like what we're doing, please hit that like, subscribe, follow stuff. It really helps us out. It really shows us and gives us feedback that we're doing the right thing. So go ahead, Ray.
Hey, mom, hit subscribe.
Yeah.
Subscribe, Mom.
Exactly. I always feel like a little teenage kid saying that shit. But you have to, because people get so invested in the conversation, they don't think about it. Like, oh yeah, you're right. I didn't
That's
do
true.
that.
Because it'll be there for next time.
Yeah.
When they get done with their lawsuit, the boat that they get, whatever the one they get, they should name it the American Fork.
They should.
That is priceless.
Yeah.
That would be funny. What is the name of his channel again? Reckless Ben, right?
Reckless Ben.
Yeah. That would be funny as shit.
He reminds me of Ben Shirley, or there's another guy I can't. Tommy G is another guy that does videos on it. They're like in the nitty gritty. Like they'll go straight to the Keel Boys. They'll be in the streets with the Keel Boys. They're riding around with the guys in New York City that rip it through the streets and stuff. But it reminds me of those type of investigative journalism where they're like, I'm literally going to go there. I'm going to record and I'm going to show you what happened. I'm not going to create this narrative. I'm just literally going to do what journalism used to be, or what it is in theory supposed to be. It's telling a story, showing what's going on. And if it's corruption in this case,
this is a really good question. Mark of the Ages said, for police, this and other big media incidents have undermined general public trust. Agreed.
Yeah.
How do you see yourselves as insiders helping regain confidence? One, doing exactly what we're doing right now, calling it out. We're with you. It's bullshit. There's obviously red flags here. I'm not going to say I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm not going to say I'm the best detective ever. But there's obviously some fucking problems here. Yes, Ray is.
There's a thought that I've had, but I have a counter argument to this as well. But a national registry for law enforcement.
Yes,
we set a minimum standard. Each state has their own state specific stuff, but then you have a minimum standard. And it's not this ACELIA accreditation. It's not this FLETC accreditation. It's this. The civilian law enforcement, this is a minimum standard, and you either meet the standard or you don't. And counter to that, if you're the law enforcement officer and you're hired in an agency and you get caught doing something like this, not only do you get fired from this agency, you get pulled from the registry. You get put blacklisted, so you can't go from American Fork in Utah to Provo, Utah, or Salt Lake City in Utah, or some other place in Utah, or come across the border to Colorado, or go over to Washington State, or go So because a lot of states have reciprocity amongst law enforcement, because it is a profession. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this or not. last couple of years, there's been a lot of eyes on law enforcement, and it's a job that there's hard to get qualified people. It's hard to get the people that you want to do the job to apply. It's hard to get them to want to do the job in the first place. And then with that, you're like, okay, well, if you don't like it here, you can move over here. And that's there's a lot of things that are built into state to state and stuff like that you might get blacklisted in Utah. And again, I'm not sure what Utah states post, if they're a post certification state or because there's all of that. But if we created a national registry, you apply to the registry, and if you get fired, you get fired, and you get said that you are just like in as lawyers, you can lose your license to practice law. You're disbarred.
Yeah,
you'd be suspended for 6 months, or you get suspended for 2. So you could lose your ability to be a police officer for 5 years, and then 5 years from now, if you haven't committed any crimes and you've made if you now meet the minimum standards, whatever they are 5 years from now. And if that minimum standard includes you can't have any prior convictions, sorry, that's part of the thing. But that's one of the ways that we can, I would say that the good old boys, but that's one of the ways that the people that you have to be overtly transparent to look, we're all on the same side. We all don't want to walk down the street and get mugged. We all don't want our kids to do stupid stuff. We all, we don't want women to feel that they can't walk down the street at night because they're going to get sexually assaulted or something. We all want the same thing. We just got to figure out a way to collectively go about it.
Yeah. What's up, Ray?
That's my mom.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
No shit. Ray's mom, you and I probably went to the same training because I am an Air Force cop, security forces, and the Navy was side by side with us for military police training.
She was Army.
Oh, she wasn't in the Navy like you.
No.
Oh, okay.
She was Army.
Man. Did that cause some bumping of heads?
Not at all.
Oh, shit. But she said, I was held to a totally different standard as an MP upholding the UCMJ. My training was extensive on mindset and discipline. There's a lot of things that, and ma'am, one of the reasons we call this Two Cops One Donut is because I started this show and I am a municipal cop and I am a military police officer. Don't let the beard fool you. I am still in the military. So in that, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of security forces members in the Air Force that hate my guts because I tell them to their face, you are not a cop. You're a military cop, but you are not a street cop like what I do. The training you have, what you do, you are not ready to jump from what you do on the base to come out and be a cop in the street. However, to your point, yes, the discipline, the standards are way different in security forces and in military policing, where I think that's where my constitutional fortitude, I think that's where it comes from. That's why I push the Constitution so hard, is because I want to give credit to the security forces for really instilling that in me. I really, it's not that I didn't believe it before, but when they really, I mean, Ray will tell you, and Deadleg was Army, I think, right?
There was a thing that you don't want to get on blotters,
right? And
blotter was a daily report that got sent out. You don't want to be on that for anything, let alone you're there for a DUI, or you're there for a domestic, or you're there because you stole government stuff, or you wrecked a Humvee. Or you don't want to be on there for getting a speeding ticket. You don't want to get on there for cussing out some NCO. You don't want to be on there for anything. Even if you hit blotters because you changed an old lady's tire and she gave you a thumbs up.
Yeah, and the culture is constantly beating it down your throat. Like, that's not your tank. That's the citizen's tank. That ain't your helicopter. That's the citizen. That's not your boat, or what a Navy calls them, ships. Whatever. It's a boat. That's not your ship. Like, that's a taxpayer ship. Like, it's just a thing that's in the culture, and we don't have that in policing. I don't hear that very often. I don't hear that mindset about a lot of things very often. So I agree with what she's saying. I mean, let's face it, constitutional training in policing is lacking horribly. How many conversations have we had on your Dad? Like, Ariel, I know you've listened to the conversations, Ray probably too, where I've had other cops on here and I outright ask them, when's the last time you had a constitutional class? And what do they all say? The academy.
Yeah, it's been years.
And they've been a cop 20 years. And the last time you had constitutional training was the academy. How fucked up are we? Like, now, don't get me wrong. In the military, we don't sit there and have constitutional classes necessarily, but the culture is always going back to the Constitution. The culture is always going back to here we are and here's our citizens. Like they're way above us. Was it the same for you when you were in, Ray?
I was a kid. I don't know. I mean,
look, like, I'm just out there trying to slay the women.
You had to ride the waves,
so to speak.
I mean, that's what they were called. Anyway,
it's great.
I joined the, anyway, since I grew up in the Army, and then went Navy. I really didn't have much of a civilian life, you know.
Right.
So a lot of problems that are going on today, I just didn't recognize as a kid because it just wasn't there. So I didn't know much of civilian life.
Yeah. Cool comment guy 1 said there's way too many cops that think the job is making criminals, not helping citizens. And I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I like a cop that's trying to catch bad guys. I like that too. I don't think it's mutually exclusive. I think you want both. I think you don't want to lose sight, but I'm one of them. I'm telling y'all, like, we just got drones where I'm at. I just caught a stolen vehicle and a dude shooting a rifle over houses in a residential area. He's in a field and he's shooting a 6.5 Creedmoor over houses. Just an idiot. He wasn't shooting at anything. He just wanted to fire the gun off. And he's firing rounds left and right. And I used the drone to catch this guy. It was amazing. We were able to go in and catch him with his pants down, so to speak, in a very safe manner. Like, to me, I was on cloud 9 for a guy that wasn't in the field anymore. Like, that was so cool to me. Like, I just caught a real dumbass bad guy that really could have hurt somebody because he wasn't thinking. Like, I love that shit. So I do want somebody thinking about catching bad guys. I don't think that's a bad mindset, but I get what you're saying. They can't lose sight that the citizens are who we're trying to protect and who we need to be helping. So don't get it twisted. I do agree with you. I don't think we can look at it. I don't want to polarize it. I'll put it that way. You got something, Ray? Oh, you had a look like you was about to say something.
Nope.
Bearded Tim just asked, Eric, are you standing up this whole time? Yeah, I have my desk as a stand-up desk. Here, I will, yeah, there you go. I was going to say, I'll show you. What up, camera 2? So, yeah, I do have I do stand up.
I think that Mr. Billfold said that was your cop-splaining vantage point.
Yeah. Fuck both of you guys. I would like to say fuck Ray and fuck Bill.
Immediately.
Mr. Billfold said, we do not have civics in school anymore. That's another problem that we have. That is.
Sides of that coin, because there is a group of individuals in a society that just believe they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And at times you have to be like, okay, look, I don't know what parent didn't tell you that this is wrong, but you can't be doing donuts in the middle of the intersection. I don't care what time of day it is. I don't care if you block it off and you make it safe. That's wrong. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing this Lego bullshit. You can't be violating you can't just be pulling people over.
Right. Yeah. We got to get In Disguise on here. He's had so many good points tonight. I like him. In Disguise, I like you. You're a smart motherfucker. He said the drug dog might have been tricked. They kept walking him around over and over again. Either the dog thought it was supposed to find something to please his handler, or till the dog signal hit.
It's true.
And I think Ray's losing signal on us.
I wasn't canine myself, but I had a canine assigned to our shift almost every shift. So I usually had a traffic guy on shift. So when we had accidents and stuff, we could send them out. And I usually had 1 or 2 dogs on shift. So the way that they have to work their dogs and keep things, to keep that legality and keep them the middle, the impartial, they can't just be completely walking them around all the time. They can't be like, if this is the case and it's on camera, then that officer and that canine now just open themselves up the litigation for any and all other cases that they have, anybody's been a defendant of that has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Because if they're leading that dog on this case, what did they do on the other cases?
Yeah. I want to read Wade's point here. He said, Erik, it is by design the government wants you to be puppets. That's why you get qualified immunity. If all cops truly knew the Constitution, arrests would almost disappear. I don't know that they would almost disappear.
I mean, false arrests.
Yeah, maybe bad arrests, but no, there's a lot of dumb people doing a lot of dumb things, more often than you know. So
there was a man cutting our internet service lines because he thought the government was spying on him.
See, there you go.
yeah, he was outside in the little boxes. He just cutting all the fibers.
Oh, the amount of work you got to do to fix that.
Yeah.
Mr. Dilligaff, which is a fun name, 1980, said, that's absurd that the police aren't required to have continuous education. I have to as an electrician, and if I don't follow code, I could kill people, but LEOs aren't required to? Ridiculous. They are. We do have continuous training. I will say, at least where I'm at, I can't speak for all departments because the more I think all departments do the same shit that I'm doing, the more I realize they're not. But where I'm at, let's just say there's over 1 million people. There's over 1 million calls a year. I am very blessed at where I'm at with the training I get. I get a lot. I get more training than I want to do. Let's put it that way. I get training, mandatory training that I have zero desire to do because it doesn't have anything to do with what I do. So that's my problem. I have to deny training. To the point is it's the type of training that bothers me that we don't have. There's Ray. Your Wi-Fi gave out on you, brother.
Hey, hotel.
But the continuous training that surprises me to the point that probably surprises you, Dilligaff, is we don't have constitutional training. Now you'll get case law updates, but I mean, tell me how much you really looked at case law updates as a patrol guy.
So I actually did. I
did too, but I'm saying overall, the majority of cops don't.
Nope.
They don't give a shit.
We would have if there's a big case that came down, sometimes they send a memo down. But I had a guy that I met was an investigator, an agent with CID, and he would check weekly, and we would send emails back and forth weekly, and he would highlight big stuff and when stuff would come out. So some people do it, but it's not the more and more that I've done the podcasting over the years, I thought that I was in an agency, or I thought the place I worked maybe could have done a lot better with things. And then when we start talking, come to find out that we were doing absolutely amazing on things that we didn't even know that other places didn't even know that we were doing. So that's why there's this, like we were talking earlier about, I don't know if there's create a minimum standard for nationwide, but then you don't want to tie that to government money. You don't want to tie that to you could tie the training to funding and funding to training, but then you don't want to start doing that because then people are just sending people through it just to go through it, just to have the numbers and stuff like that. So it's one of those where this is one of those cases, and this is one of the situations that somewhere in that leadership, be it a mayor, be it a district attorney, be it someone in that agency within them that has the ability to take an objective look at this and go, hey, we are about to eat it big time. We need to stop this, cut this off, and just now they're in damage control.
Yeah.
But what it looks like they're doing is they're tripling down. They're sending out their goon squad, lack of a better term, to the Airbnb.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue the other side. That's why I keep asking, what would be a piece of evidence that the police show, or what would be something that they have that would change my tune? What would be some massive piece of evidence? And I don't know.
So
could be.
The evidence
And
was
then
that they heard the neighbor, or no, the owner of the Airbnb heard them talking about stolen Legos. That was their evidence.
But that's like what Erik was talking earlier. That could be your defense attorney goes, that's third party hearsay.
It's fucking hearsay. Like you need to I need specifics.
You got to get multiple people need to be able to confirm intimate details about things that only people that were there, that were only up to the crime or the incident or whatever we're talking about. Like any civil rights attorney is going to be able to look at this and they're going to go, like, I guarantee this guy's email is just flooded with attorneys going, pick me.
Yeah.
Because whoever they do, they're going to get the chunk. Like early on, before the chief made his statement, before like a lot of stuff, I was like, oh, this guy's going to get a really big yacht. And the longer that this goes on, I'm like, that's another 30-foot yacht. That's another 30 foot on the front of his yacht. That's another 2 crew members. Oh, this guy's going to get a damn helipad on the front of his.
Yep.
Like,
yeah,
the
chief should have made a statement. I'll say that much.
Yeah. Mark of the Ages said, I disagree too, ? But there are some really bad people, but some are using local police departments as a cleanup crew or harassment network seen in BAM scandal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all agreeing that that's what we're seeing. The evidence is very damning. Of course, we're speculating. We'll put that disclaimer out there. But I can tell you right now what I'm leaning towards. Doesn't mean I'm right.
Me as a jury, I know where I would lay.
Yeah. Cool comment guy said any cop that mutes his body cam should be fired. End of story. But we have chiefs that cover the blue line. I will push back slightly because there are. Let's improve our language on that. Any cop that does it intentionally, because there's times I'm leaning up against something, it mutes the camera. There's times that, I mean, there's instances where you don't mean for it to happen. It's very explainable, very easy to see, but at the same time, that's why I do get finicky when we just kind of put blanket statements, but I see where you're going. I'm with you. We talked about it a little bit earlier. I don't know if you were here, cool comment guy. I am not a fan of muting your body camera. I don't think there's any time that you should be muting it. The purpose of muting is for redaction purposes on things that aren't supposed to be recorded, like your personal information, minor tactical information, stuff like that. But the point that I made earlier was that needs to be on a redaction team. That has nothing to do with the officer in the field. That's not his decision to make. That needs to be the redaction team, unless it's the American Fork redaction team, apparently. So
here's my thought on that, because I never worked with body cams. We got to a point where they allowed us to put cameras in the car if we wanted to, but they were your personal cameras. But I never had that. So to me, my thought of like, I'm talking with someone and they start giving information. I'm like, oh, wait. All right, now tell me what you're going to say. And I go, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Oh, wait. Like,
yeah.
How bad is that going to mess up the flow of conversation? And then how well is that going to come across as gathering? Like, if you're the officer on the scene, you shouldn't be muting. You should that should be that camera should be the least thing on your mind. It should be a hit it and forget it thing. It should be an automatic, just part of the procedure as I put my seatbelt on when I get in the car.
Yeah, race style, baby. Hit it and forget it.
Like, just hit it and let it go. And then if there's something
ride them waves and get the fuck off.
Let
my mother's
here. PIO, let legal, let PIO, let someone that's going to answer for why it was redacted. Because the other thing that I hate is, and I don't want to get too far off, but we've like used this big brush and just blanket everyone on patrol. The patrol has the least amount of input on what's going on from day to day. They are literally, for the most part, answering calls for service. Even your immediate supervisors, they have some like hearsay over what's like going on in the shift. But even then, they're pretty much like, it's not until you get to senior leadership and things like that, or instances like this where you're like, oh, there's only 55 people here. How many people are involved with this? Because we have not one, but 2 traffic stops. We have a raid with how many people were there on the raid. You had someone
7.
that had to write a warrant. You had someone that had to go to the judge. You have the judge. Like, you have all of this stuff. So it's what I'm kind of doing is putting a case together for them to go, you can't argue that this was negligence. I'm showing intent. You put thought through this. Someone put information down on a warrant and you executed a warrant. That was thought. You had to think that this was actual probable cause before you went and detained. What if someone got shot and killed on this?
Yeah, especially, I mean, over Legos.
Right.
I mean, this is a
over someone saying there were stolen Legos. There was no.
I mean,
proof.
it depends. Maybe the American Fork, they're the Sith, and everybody that owned the Legos were they were the rebels, and
Wait a minute. You're saying
it was the dark side versus the light side.
You're saying that people were talking about stolen Legos, the same people who showed up because of stolen Legos, they were talking about stolen Legos.
What are
That's
the
how
odds?
you get the warrant,
Right? Underground Adventure said, I'm skeptical of any cop at American Fork Police Department that will even be fired, much less charged and face jail or prison. And this is quintessentially what I love about my platform is that by having me as an active cop, having a lot of other active cops on here, having former cops on here, it adds a level of credibility to what we put out there that hopefully brings it the attention that it needs to get. Now, I'm not going to go out there and flex like, oh, because I talked about it on my show that all of a sudden it's going to be, the FBI is going to look at it. No. But you guys know damn well one of the best things about America is its citizen pressure. We the people. And when we the people start speaking up and start raising a stink, change can happen. You gotta voice. You gotta use your voice. So
this many YouTube videos over this.
Yeah, look how many YouTube videos we have over it. I mean, hell, folks, we got 224 people on here right now talking about it. So
this thing is huge.
We blowing up. So, yeah. Don't you guys know me? I am to a detriment, to a fault, an optimistic person. That is just how I'm wired. I apologize for that. That's just how I am. I think that I can make a difference all the time. And that's why I created this show. I think I can make a difference. I hope to make a difference. And you are not going to rain on my parade. I'm going to keep trying. No matter how much you tell me everything I do won't work. So nana nana boo boo, stick your head in doo doo. It's just what I'm going to do.
I look at it like this. We're all on this spinning rock flying through infinite nothingness, right? We're all just stumbling through this, trying to figure out, like, if you think that anybody has the right answers, I'm going to tell you now, at 40-some years old, we have no clue. We have a pretty good idea with some things, but even then, there's stuff that we can find out tomorrow that's going to change our outlook on everything. So we're just trying to get, we're all looking for the same thing. We don't want to be stopped.
Yeah.
For stopping at a stop sign. We don't want to be rated in an Airbnb for talking about stolen Legos. We all want the same thing. We would rather have, hey, what happened to these Legos? Where is this legal? Why are we pressuring this? What's going on with the connections with the church? What is all this connections with? Is there some other? Because we barely touched on that, but that could be one of the biggest threads that connects everything together. That it's because they're all in the same church and they're all buddies with everybody in church, and there's nothing wrong with that unless you're pressuring the police department to execute search warrants on someone and deprive them of the right. Like, this could have been way worse or could be way worse. I don't think Reckless Ben, when he was going through this, thought that they were going to be raided by the police. I will say, if you're in one of these situations, just kind of do what they have done. Answer the questions, go with the flow. Don't resist. Like,
I mean, don't answer questions, but
be as cooperative as you're legally required to. But at the end, that's it. Like, your fight's not going to be right there, because you're going to end up having these 4 random people on the internet going to be fighting for you on a Sunday night. You're gonna have all these other legal channels that have come out and said all this stuff. So
to Justin's point, so the chief in American Fork was spinning the actions of the officers and condemning Reckless Ben before he'd even looked at the body cam evidence. It was a knee-jerk reaction, excuse me, to circle the wagons, which I think that's a good take. I think it's a really good take. And then I want to bring up.
I was going to wonder for the charges that he faced. He had, I guess, some felony charges in Provo, Utah, regarding threatening that's where the corporate office is. Threatening people at the corporate office with like shooting someone or
who did?
Ben.
They said Ben called and threatened to shoot somebody.
Yeah, shoot up the office or stuff like that. And he had. I don't know if they're still there or not, but how would you guys handle just he did. No proof of it. It's obviously like hearsay situation.
It's hearsay. Like,
yeah.
I can tell you right now, I'm not going to say I'm 100 for 100 when it comes to judging a person's character. We've seen a lot of videos with this kid, including stuff where he wasn't on. You know what I mean? He wasn't being. It was body cam stuff. Like, this kid, I 100% believe he's never done a drug. I 100% believe that he's pretty, what I would call a Boy Scout. I mean, that's literally the term I use for a lot of these guys that really don't have that much experience in life. I don't feel like he does. Ray, you tell me. I feel like you kind of got that same vibe to you. Like, you watch this kid, he doesn't seem like he knows much about life in general. So in that, I don't see this kid coming out and doing that.
It's pretty risky.
It doesn't mean I'm right. I'm just, I pride myself in my ability to read people. I don't have a lot of really great skills, but that's one that has saved my bacon for a long time. And I trust my gut on people. And it's one of the reasons, like, even in the comment section and shit, like, I didn't know Ray from Adam. But just on his comment section alone, like, I knew he'd be a good time. Same with Ariel. Like, I can only screen you guys so well. I don't know what I'm getting into. I don't know if somebody's going to jump on here and start dropping N-bombs and trying to fuck up my live stream. So,
not that. I want to show you my new tattoo.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but yeah, to In Disguise's point, he said, I'm against muting, but have to admit there are times it is needed. Just don't see any good reason in these situations besides corruption. And I'll push back. And I think I've kind of made this known already tonight, but I am not for muting your body cam ever. There's no reason to do it. That's what the redaction team's for. You as Joe Blow patrolman, Snuffy the patrolman, whatever you want to call yourself, that's not for you to think about. I don't want you muting your camera. Now, if you got to go to the bathroom, obviously turn your camera off.
Take it with you.
Narrate right before, hey, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm turning this thing off. Cool. Become the Morgan Freeman of your body camera. That's what I do. I had a dude, an Uber driver. He blew right past me. I was working a part-time at a golf tournament. I have signs everywhere, y'all. Like, my job, I've got my job set up so I shouldn't have to work. So it's really how I have it set up. And there's a huge sign that says no ride share, no drop off or pickup past this point. And then there's a orange construction barrier going across the road. There's another sign that says all public access this way. You can't get public access past this point. There's a bunch of things that tell you you can't drive past this point. And this guy blows right by me. He doesn't stop. I'm like standing up, like trying to give him the universal sign, like, hey, bro, I'm right here. I'm a cop. Stop. And he goes past me. And so I yell, and that got his attention enough. So he stops and he rolls the window down. And I come up and I'm trying to be my person. I'm like, bro, where you going? And he's like, I'm going to the golf tournament. And he's all like pissy with me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Pull over there. Like, now I got to actually do my job because you're like serious about this. Why are you serious about this? Like, I was just going to tell you, if you try to drive down this road, you're going to have to turn around anyway. I was trying to help him. Like, it's not a big deal that you drove past, but now I gotta stop you so I can tell you not to go down there because you're just gonna get clogged up. And I had to turn it into this traffic stop, which is not my style. You guys know me. I don't do tickets or anything like that. So run this guy's information and all that stuff. And I don't even remember where I was going with the story. I saw that dog and you just totally threw me off with that fucking dog.
That's beautiful.
This is the problem with ADHD. I saw the dog and he goes, oh, I want to pet it. That's what just went on in my head. Totally lost track of what I was talking about. I'm not lying. Anyway, all right, fuck that story. Back to whatever the fuck we were talking about. Oh, mutant body cameras. That's what we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So I wasn't ready. I didn't have my body cam ready or anything like that. So I'm like grabbing it and turning it on, trying to get that shit in there. But I narrated even after the stop was done and he was long gone because I missed the first 5 minutes of the stop. So I turned the body camera towards me and was like, all right, this is what happened. I broke down the whole thing. And then I walked out into the intersection. I was like, this is what he sees when he drives up, because I wanted to make it abundantly apparent. Like, I'm above board. I'm trying to do the right things. I didn't mute my shit. I did start it late and I owned that right away in the body camera. I said, hey, I started my camera late. This was a fluid situation, right? We were talking about fluid situations. Like, you don't know when you're going to have to turn your camera on every time. If I get dispatched to a call, obviously I got plenty of time. But when a call happens right in front of you, you don't necessarily have all the time in the world. So I turned it on when I could, and then I narrated behind it. But yes, never, ever, ever should we be muting our body cameras. So that's, in all of the good things In Disguise have said tonight, that's the one thing I push back on him or her a little bit. We got a greetings from UK, guys. Hell yeah.
Look at that.
Where did it go? I just saw it. I lost it. The comments are blowing. We're at almost 260 people. We are taking off. Yeah, Mr. Dilligap. Guys, I'm not joking. People ask me all the time, how do you have time to edit all these videos, to do these live streams, to do a 40-hour police job, to be the NRTCCA vice president, and all the shit I do, and be a dad, and try to be a good husband. There it is, frankly, exposed. Good name, by the way. How do you have time for all that? It's because I've turned my ADHD into a superpower, but it does bite me in the ass occasionally, especially when I'm storytelling and I see something else that distracts me because I love dogs. So that fucking threw me off.
Buddy.
It was complete distraction.
Hence a distraction.
In Disguise says, what if witness info could get them killed for telling you and it gets leaked? That is, again, that's why having a redaction team is so important. And that's why it needs to be treated as such. We wouldn't have this problem in American Fork if their redaction person was treated and took their job seriously. And I don't know. I can't account for other people doing their job, like in law enforcement. I can't tell Deadleg, like, bro, you should be watching the passenger while I'm talking to the driver. Like, I have to trust that he's going to do his job. If he doesn't, then he needs to be held accountable.
We'll talk after.
Yeah. If a witness gets hurt, or even worse, or even gets contacted because the redaction team didn't do their job properly, well, then who's against criminal charges for them? I guarantee you would be for criminal charges on a cop that didn't do his job the right way and somebody got hurt. So why not the civilian redaction team? Ray, what do you think?
No, I agree. I'm losing. Somebody's losing. I'm losing connection or something.
It's probably you, Ray. You're all right, brother.
It's always me.
It's that hotel. What do you think, Ariel?
Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, if if you're doing everything right, if you meet your body camera at a critical time and you forgot it was muted, and stuff happens, and then in court that camera's just empty, just no audio.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like Eric said, I mean, ideally the police officer should be taken at his word. But the body camera just that extra part that can help you so much more. Versus having to mute something that maybe, post, incident that happened that need to be muted.
Yeah. What the hell is happening tonight, guys? We got Dublin, Ireland here. We've got UK. I expect my Canadian friends to be here as I'm from Michigan. I like to call myself Southern Canadian. We've got Estonia here.
Like I'm from North Dakota.
The fuck is happening? You're in North Dakota?
Yeah.
So you're a Southern Canadian as well?
Yeah.
You're not too far off of Calgary.
No.
Because I was stationed in Montana, and Calgary was right above us. We actually went and visited. Pretty cool.
It's just when you get those minus 40-degree weathers, it's kind of not very fun. So.
No. The coldest I ever seen it in Montana was negative 72 on the prairies.
Oh my gosh.
100-mile-an-hour winds. It was insane. But yeah, looking at the people in the comment section, it really is humbling to see where you guys are from and that you're participating. I don't know whether to believe this one or not, but Purple Wolf says he's from South Korea. It's not that I don't believe you. It's just that is one of the last places I ever would expect to have somebody on here from.
We still have troops down there.
Yeah,
I'm close to the UK.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, well, closer than you. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina.
I
live in Myrtle Beach, though.
I do. This fucker. Yeah. He's like, "Go Gamecocks." Fucking Tim behind Eric's couch. Crater said, "I drove armored cars in Billings." Yeah, South Korea wins. It definitely wins. That is one of the least expected places that I would think to come on the show. Cape Canaveral, Florida, New Mexico, Scranton. Hey, Scranton, isn't that?
Oh no, North Dakota.
Oh, not Ohio.
PA.
Yep. That's different. PA. St. Pete, Florida. That's where Ludwig Pig is from. Okay. Very cool. Brick by brick. I love it. This is awesome. Like, this has been one of the best. Guys, I usually cut this off right at 3 hours, by the way. So I'm just I'm going to the comments. I'm done talking. I'm just going to go to the comments. I want to thank Ray. I want to thank Ariel for jumping on. Mr. Billfold jumped on today. Thank you guys for coming on here. Ray has got a show coming up that he's going to be a channel on YouTube. What are you going to call it, Ray?
It's I was texting on it last week, Forefathers 1787.
Okay. And
it's just a parody, a comedy, kind of hitting on this very same subject and basically how the forefathers would react to what's going on today.
Very cool. Awesome. So look forward to that. When Ray does have that up and running, we're gonna bring him back on to at least just say, hey, here it is. Come jump on. Let me see. Mr. Billfold is trying to jump back on, but it doesn't look like his signal's wanting to work.
Is he still in that shop area?
Yeah, I think so. I see, like you can obviously see he's got a blank screen right now. We'll see if it lets him jump on. Purple Fairy out there from Ohio, Orange County in California for Devil Pup. Holy cow, look at the glare off of that head. What are you doing there, beautiful?
Look at that beard.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that Restream is trying to do Discord. I can't.
You can't see us?
Oh, hear that, or am I having a stroke?
Oh,
I'm gonna hurt somebody. Y'all stop. Y'all picking on me?
Yes. No. Whatever will make you talk.
You know what, though?
Why the hell am I hearing a commercial
Did we lose Eric too?
for Restream?
I think we lost Eric. Yep. It's no longer a show.
We lost Eric. It's ours now. We win.
Eric has shit the bed here with this. Ario's the winner. Up or dead.
There we go.
What's happening here? Oh God! Please tell me Eric stopped it from doing what it's just doing.
No, I think Eric got bit
I don't know
too.
what happened with Eric, unless he's having like a storm or something.
This is banana crazy, y'all.
What about Deadleg? Is he still here? Or Alan? Anybody?
This is fucking awesome. This is
Well, I think
fucking awesome.
we better figure something out, or else we better figure it out, or else we're going to start losing people. And Eric won't be happy about that. Looks like it's just you.
Oh
and me,
man.
buddy.
Well, this I call it the legal scandal.
Yeah.
Not just me.
I think. Well, listen, I appreciate everybody's views on this subject and many of the other subjects that we've had. I think this is very, we're going to call it healthy. The conversations that we have on here, at least, to move forward and to bridge that gap, or to at least attempt to bridge that gap. You know, like Eric, I can, be a good judge of character, and that's why I think I've stuck to this. Why I've latched on to this channel as well. Just like, Izzo's channel and Southern Draw Law and Clearly Established, and the many others. But I started noticing Eric's take on everything, and agree more than not. But there are some things that I have just fought with him over, and I just disagree.
Yeah, I think I heard of his channel from Izzo. It's a while back now. And I started watching his, live streams. Hey, there he is.
Hey.
Hey,
I love it.
we kept it going.
Something happened. Power went out. And
Like I said, you need to buy a UPS.
I guess I do. Well, I don't know if that would have helped me.
It would. Oh, I mean, it would keep your computer on. It just, I don't know where your router's at. You need to buy a computer.
Router's
router.
in my house, so I look frozen right now. Do I look frozen to y'all?
Yeah.
But you can hear me.
Yes.
Come in here loud and clear.
That's so weird.
Oh, there you go. You're moving again.
Am I?
It always freezes in the
Yeah, just the most awkward.
Yeah, and now I'm trying to figure out my.
I'm surprised that. I mean, there's only been 2 people on tonight. I thought there'd be more that have questions. Come on.
It is kind of odd how, when you do the live and you offer people to come on, it just doesn't happen. Like, I don't get nearly as many people on as I expect to get.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, at least your comments are very well engaged. But
yeah,
I'm surprised that there's I thought there'd be more people on, to be honest.
yeah. Billfold, can you hear me, buddy?
Yeah, I can. Can you see me?
Bro, it was like you heard the power outage happening at my house before it happened. You were like, y'all hear that? And as soon as you did it, I was like, for some reason, I looked up like I was going to hear whatever you were hearing, and my power just completely went out. That was fucking weird.
Yeah,
dude.
you know what it is, guys? I want to tell these new folks in our chat what happened is we talked about qualified immunity too much. And Von Clean cast a forced science spell on the restream and fucked Eric up to teach him a lesson. No more QI talk, or Von Clean will pop in here
Right? Exactly. I got to get my background ambiance going too. The power completely went out. I think it might have been a flash of lightning. I told you I'm on like an old power system out here. It's like
Hey,
lightning
I
gets
tell you
close.
what, Ray and Ario kicked all the ass while you. I mean, I was over here drowning in the lobby of whatever force science wizardry was happening while you were doing your thing, and Ario and Ray were holding this shit down.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
fuck.
hey,
Yeah,
I want to thank Sydney, all you guys in the comments tonight. A lot of new people we've never seen before.
A lot.
Hey, keep your comments coming. Yeah, comments coming, man. People are listening. I would just tell you that, you know, as long as you can keep it respectful, we're all about putting the pressure on each other. There are no safe spaces or soft, you know, rounded off edges around here. So I like
Correct.
it. All you guys, I like that stuff. Just be respectful, don't be racist, and don't threaten people. And we want to see y'all a lot.
Shout out to Mr. Dilgaff. He sent $5 in the super chat and said, "What are your thoughts on qualified immunity for protecting LEOs against violating someone's civil rights?"
We just said don't talk about it.
I know, but because he dropped $5, let me just nobody else, Mr. Billfold, keep it to yourself. Let me just give my point of view real quick. Listen, I think qualified immunity needs to be a thing. I think it's fucked up right now. I think it needs to be fixed. I think if you get rid of it, it's not going to have the results that you think it will have. But overall, I think I am with you that well, I can't say you didn't really give a position, but I think personally qualified immunity has major flaws in it, and it's fucking up the system and causing problems. So it needs to be fixed.
May I give Mr. Dilligaff my 90 seconds and I'll let it go?
Oh my God, you don't have 90 seconds in you, Billfold.
I've been practicing this. I've been practicing like my Kill Tony 1 minute. I've been practicing.
Good call. Good call. I like it. All right.
Yeah. Getting my QI pitch down. Here's what I will say. And Dilligaff, thank you for the question. Everybody in chat.
Hold on.
Here's what.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
And go.
Okay. Unfortunately, for most people who does not do any of the things that the doctrine was supposed to have done when you get it started. The fact of the matter is, qualified immunity is just a series of interlocutory appeals that keep any kind of cases from getting to juries, and therefore clearly establishing any kind of law with which to establish a civil rights violation. 99.98% of all cops who lose their qualified immunity are municipally indemnified by their agencies and municipalities and do not ever lose one penny. So any cop who believes that losing QI is in any way damage to them is somebody who is scared of monsters under the bed. And I think that we can do a lot better than having something made up by the Supreme Court that gives us absolutely no benefits but hurdles to justice. Thank you very much.
I like it. I just want to say I love the diversity that we have on the panel right now. I've got the fucking Southern boy welder, Macho Man Randy Savage, Mr. Billfold.
A cup of coffee to the top, donut. Nothing goes better with a donut. Yeah. Miss Elizabeth, where's my donut? Yeah, to the cream of the crop.
And then I've got and then I've got Ray, who is, I'm gonna just call him the sea salty veteran over here. And then
he's a proud seaman.
Yes, he is. I got semen all over my feed right now.
Aviation electrician.
Hey, I was in the Marines, so that's the men's department of the Navy, right?
That's what I heard. We always take our
Yep, I bring the powdered soap with me every time I get on a boat, so it's harder to pick up.
That's so gross. And then Ario, how old are you?
I'm 30.
You're Are you really? Okay, I would have put you at about 25, 26.
People say I look like I'm 12, okay?
Yeah, you look young, brother. You do.
So, hey, I feel young, okay?
Yeah. What is...
Uh-oh. Yep.
We've lost him again.
Oh, no. See, we brought up QI and Von Cleem has attacked us.
You lost me?
No, you're good now.
Okay. It's so weird. It's funny too because I'm on fiber of all things.
I'm blaming it on the Patriot Act.
Yeah.
The Patriot Act did that to you, Eric.
Ariel, I was asking what you do for a living.
I work in IT.
Oh, you're an IT guy. Okay. See, we're all over the spectrum here, baby. So
you can't tell by how fucking smart this kid is.
Well, I mean, he is on Harrison's level, isn't he? I bet
he has some of the best questions of any of our community members.
Yeah, for sure.
Ario is very, very tuned in. He pays attention. A lot of you guys do too. And I hope that you new guys are out there watching. You see, this is what you get when you come to our streams on Sunday.
Yeah.
You'll get a active duty cop willing to, give you his opinion, and you'll have those of us who push back against him willing to push back against him. So come for the donuts, stay for the beard.
Exactly. Chris Roberts asked, did you hear about the video where someone went to BAM stores and put a chromed one in the collection, which is certified valued at $1,200 and offered them $50 for it?
Ooh. Nope.
If I'm understanding that correctly, somebody put a high valued Lego piece, Star Wars Lego piece in there that's valued at $1,200 and offered him $50 for it. I'm not 100% sure what we're saying there.
That's kind of what we're getting at.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of stories coming out about them, Eric, over the past week, where people feel more emboldened to tell their story and not get threatened with lawsuits by Bricks and Minifigs.
Yeah.
So you're getting a lot more people who are coming out saying, hey, it's card trading where you got adults who are unscrupulous, take advantage of young people. You're getting the same thing happening at Bricks and Minifigs. There's a lot of anecdotal evidence, but we could be here all. That's a whole nother stream, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I got you.
Businessmen trying to get over by getting somebody to sell something for $50 that they can sell for $100. I think Pawn Stars made 20 years of TV out of that.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. Yeah, he's saying that they offered $50 for a $1,200 item. I see. Well, I mean,
sounds like capitalism.
That's how that goes. Like, the value of your shit. I'll tell you right now, I was the kid.
You don't have to jump in bed with them.
I'm going to give you one of the biggest sob stories that's out there. I had 2 Jordan rookies. You know what I traded it for? A Jim Abbott rookie card. No,
I was going to say a donut.
No, I was a kid. I went to a sports card trading shop, and Jim Abbott was my favorite pitcher. Why was he my favorite pitcher? Because he was from Flint. So I'm from Flint. And I idolized the man. He was the one-arm pitcher. For anybody that remembers the one-arm pitcher in the major leagues, he played for the Angels. Yeah, he played for the Angels for quite a while, and he threw a no-hitter for the Yankees. So,
I heard he got pulled over for using his hand and a device or something. I heard he got a ticket, but he beat it.
Yeah, he had his right hand. You know what pisses me off about that fucking story is now you've got Officer Tatum jumping on, be like, oh, she faked it. She could do more with that hand than she let on. That's not the point. That's not the fucking point.
Jesus Christ. Listen, we have, Officer Tatum and I have the same last name, and I want to tell him I didn't think there could be any other Tatums I thought were bigger assholes than my father, but you seem to have decided to take the king of asshole Tatums from Harvey Tatum and put it on your head because he can't seem to get a fucking take right. And that's not trying to be ugly or start a controversy. It's just, I mean, he is the problem that we have with law enforcement is that he is so blue line that, I mean, he can't see any other thing other than, well, what did you do? Obviously these cops have every reason to do whatever they want to do. I mean, he would never talk about the fact that, let's ask ourselves this question. Was that really a case of this guy just making a mistake one time? Or is this a man who uses, I saw a device in the right hand of this person X as a pretext to every single stop he's ever made and written a ticket for that? That's the question. It just so happened this lady was missing a hand, so it caught him doing what he was saying right off the top of his head without even looking at her. Yes, ma'am, I saw you manipulating a device in your right hand, and oh, shit. Okay. Yep, that device in your nub. Raise your other nub. There we go. You know,
Yeah.
but I don't think that was so. I don't think it was so much a mistake. I think that it was a clear example of I'm a cop who gets lots of awards and people who shine my boots if I do a lot of tickets. So I always will swear in front of a judge that I saw the device in their right hand, Your Honor, and that's what most people here aren't thinking about when they talk about laws. They don't pay attention to how law works. If it's a traffic thing, it's preponderance of evidence. So a cop saying he saw it is all the preponderance of evidence you need in most traffic courts for the judge to go, okay, well, I'll find you guilty under the preponderance of evidence. So this guy knows what his preponderance of evidence is and just knows that he's full of shit. But it just so happened he pulled it on a woman who didn't have a hand with which to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I think every single case that he's ever given should be canceled.
Hold on.
For that.
Hold on. We have to address Randy 17's comment that is completely uncalled for, sir. Saying that the Detroit Tigers suck. Listen, Linda. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Just because you have poor taste in baseball teams doesn't mean that you're right. With that,
I just want our community. I want our community to know that that's the only way that you control or get under the skin of Sergeant Erik Lavigne. You can call him a pig and tell him that all cops are bastards, and he'll smile all day and take a toast to you. But if you fuck with a Detroit sports team, you're liable to get a lot of pushback. So that's how you troll him, everybody. Just so y'all know.
Son of a bitch. He found my kryptonite. But
secret's out.
Yeah. Oh, to Mark's point here, and I think I've talked about this before, but I'll bring it up again, is that the police officer doubled down. And he was asking what my thought is on that, and that is my problem with it. This is how easy it would have been to fix. I walk up to the car, Mr. Billfold's missing his right hand, and I thought I seen him holding a device up to his right hand. Not hard, but as soon as the nub comes up, I'm gonna be like, I fucked up. I would literally, you would probably catch me saying that exact phrase on my body camera. I would probably go, oh shit, I am so sorry. I messed up. Apparently I was wrong. I thought maybe you were moving your hair, something to that effect. Could I have mistaken that? And she would have either said, oh yeah, I was doing, maybe I did that or whatever. Who knows what she would have said. But one thing I know for sure is I would not have accused her of holding a phone in that same hand that she doesn't even possess. And listen, I'm the type of person that looks at the totality of circumstances. Life has dealt her a short hand, and I'm not going to punish her.
I knew it.
I'm not going to punish her with a ticket because she's already been punished. Like, I'm not going to make life harder for her. She's already got it hard enough. So I'm gonna be honest. I would have let her go. I would have let her go because she was missing.
Oh my goodness.
Even if she would have been like, yeah, I had it up to my head like that.
She was like doing this.
Even if she would have told me she did, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to give you a warning.
Our chat's been so good. I wish I could be reading the chat from the restream, Eric. I'm sure it's really good because we got some good ones in there tonight. Let me just make an observation about what that comment just was about doubling down. All right. You see a lot of doubling down the wrong direction in any branch of human behavior when people lack experience. If you've ever taken a person who's never been smacked upside the fucking face, go ahead and smack them upside the fucking face and look at the look on their face when that happens against somebody who's actually been hit in the face before. Two totally separate reactions. And a lot of these cops are just not experienced with anybody being able to push back or have any way to go against their head, and I'm the law. And that dude had never experienced a situation where on a stop while he's running his game, while he's running his racket, his taxation through citation, he'd never had an experience where he was literally on the spot, put in a situation where his horse shit was on display on his own body cam.
Yeah.
He couldn't even redact it. You can't redact the nub. So him doubling down is because he's probably never had experience having his horse shit that he's done every day and gotten trophies and awards for and extra shifts at the Walmart for $70 an hour on the weekends. That's why he doubled down, because he literally has no experience on manning up for his shit and having anyone hold him to any sort of accountability. That's why he doubled down on it, because it's a knee-jerk reaction. Like when you busted your kids doing some shit and there's some doo-doo on the wall and they got a turd in their hand. Like, how'd that get there? I don't know. What, me? Big ass turd in their hand. Well, that's law enforcement. You can catch them with a turd in their hand. They're like, don't believe this body cam or your lying eyes. You believe this hero over here. That's who you believe.
Oh, Wade said she had a prosthetic hand. She hid it under the seat. Ryan said, free the nub.
I worked for a really crazy bastard one time. They called him Hook, and he owned all the tattoo shops here in town. And he had a big ass hook arm, and he had a lot of money and even less of common sense. And if somebody cut him off in traffic, he'd stick that damn hook out the window and tell somebody he was going to shove it up their ass. I was like, dude, that's a big old shiny, scary hook, man. Keep that shit away from people. Somebody's going to shoot you next time you stick that hook in their face. I was like, you stick that little nub of yours, that's cute. I just want to kiss it. But keep the hook out of people's face, Hook.
Oh, I'm going to read these comments. Ludwig Pig said, it feels like accountability has been the word of the day for a few years now. And then the man in the hat said, classic Mr. Billfold. I love it. Hands down, best episode ever. And I've missed quite a few over the last 6 months. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. I'm here for you. I'm the voice of the people. I'm the people's champ. The real one.
I think we have hit a natural conclusion to this show, even through the power outage. But I want to thank Ray, Ario. Appreciate you guys jumping on very much.
Thank you, Ray.
Hey, good to meet everyone.
Nice to meet you too, sir. Mr. B, appreciate you. And to everybody out there that watched tonight, like, holy shit, we're still sitting at 186 people that it's showing to me on here. So that's amazing in itself. I fully admit we usually don't have quite those numbers. We seem to keep growing.
You gotta spread love.
Yeah, but if
let me just say
already, please.
I'm gonna fillet myself off of here. I was telling you to jump on this last Sunday when the shit popped off, because I know that a lot of these folks are going to want to hear it. And I just want all you guys out there who are watching this story to please subscribe and like, because this is not going to be the last time we jump into this. I think this is going to be a story that people are talking about for a while. So if this is your first night with us, please come back, jump on the live stream, jump in the Discord. Mods, please post the Discord link. And that's all I got, Eric.
Yes. Please, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate Ario. You got any closing remarks, sir?
I can't wait to tell my mom, but that's about it.
Nice. Ray, you got any closing remarks, sir?
Well, I think it has been a very productive conversation. I can't believe it's been over 3 hours.
I know, right?
Goes by quick.
I have to get, it's it's 11:30 and I got to be up at 3.
Oh shit.
Well,
I appreciate
Hell yeah, man after my own heart.
I love the sacrifice. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Had a great time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Ray. Really, man. It takes a lot of balls. Everybody has something to say, but not everybody will get up here and say it.
Yep.
Thanks,
Lord
Ray.
knows I will make the offer every show. If you got something to say to get on here while we're doing it, I am more than game. I don't hide behind my comments, and I definitely love to talk things out if we don't agree. Because at the end of the day, I mean, look at Mr. Billfold and I. We will bump heads on qualified immunity all day long. But I think there's a lot of mutual ground that we both share in that. And I think there's a lot of good things to come between two people just talking something out, even if they don't agree in it. If us as police sit there and want to be fluffed, so to speak, in an echo chamber, we're never going to get better. And I refuse to do that. So I appreciate everybody out here. You guys have made me a better cop in doing what I do. And this show has definitely been the biggest benefactor to me being a police officer. So I appreciate it, guys. Other than that, thanks for being on, and everybody.